Welcome, everybody. It is Friday. We are in the stretch run of the week. Summer racing, but I don't know. It's kind of a weird time. I always feel like Santa Anita's closed, Golden Gate's closed, Gulfstream's doing what it's doing. Oldie, we're waiting for Del Mar. We're waiting for
Yep.
Saratoga. They're not racing at Churchill. They're racing at Ellis. Like, kind of, it's very interesting. I feel like kind of point in time in horse racing. But welcome, everybody. We're glad you're here. Oldie, how you doing, brother?
Doing great. How are you doing, Justin?
I'm good, man. It's beautiful weather. Like that, my kids are just getting out of school today. It's the last day of school. I walked them to school today, and which I do regularly. But it was a nice morning. But it's supposed to be in the 80s here. It's beautiful. It's not humid. But we were walking to school, and they have like no backpack. They have no nothing today. It's only they get out of school actually in like an hour, but it was very strange. I'm like, don't you guys feel weird? Like you have no backpack. You don't have anything. You're just going to go to school today with really to hang out, I guess.
I can't believe your kids are still in school. Mine have been out for mine have been out since like the end of May, almost a
Yeah,
month.
no, our kids get out late here, because to be honest, August and September historically, like I was a kid here, are always usually the nicest months here. And Mike, welcome, brother. We're glad you're here. And Scott as well. So, but yeah, Oldie, it's really just because it's weather-wise, like in Seattle, our best months are August and September.
Yeah.
So they traditionally will always go back to school after Labor Day.
Yeah, and we have like 4 nice months here. It's May through September. Well, now it's kind of May through September, but it used to be May through August.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, and we just eh, the Chicago Public Schools ends a little later. It's like the second week in June, but most other schools get out towards the end of May.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's crazy, man. I mean, it really is. But it's summertime, man. I'm excited. It's gonna be a good summer. I'm excited for Del Mar and Saratoga to open. Racing times will change. Joe, welcome. We're glad you're here.
Hey, Joe.
Oli, all right. We'll get to the Gulfstream pick 5. We always cover that on the show. You have a ticket, I have a ticket. I think I'm gonna single a bomb, like always. Interesting sequence, I felt like, to be honest. But I don't know. It's we were talking right before the show, right? And it looks like they're trying to replant the grass on the turf course, which is probably a good thing.
Yes. Agreed. That turf course looked like a worn out fairway by the end of the season, and also, you know, it it, it would be nice if they did not divide it up and just left it as a wide turf course.
Oh, well, what do you mean? Like, do you mean
Remember how they would take the rail out and divide it into two separate courses, and it was
yeah,
two
yeah,
way too narrow courses.
yeah. Oh,
So
and what do you want them to do to it?
leave the leave the rail where basically leave the rail in and have it as one wide turf course
I
that
got
can
you.
actually handle the horses they're putting on it.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I'm tracking with you. Well, we'll see, man.
Yeah.
Harry Potter princess. Uh Although I've arrived from a woeful Royal Ascot. I forget to talk about that, Oldie. So we still have 6 minutes, but before we go there, have you been playing Royal Ascot? I have been not paying any attention. I have not
I
I
I've
have
played
not.
3 races this week and I won 2 of them. Um,
Nice.
yeah, so not bad. Gave out a bunch this morning that hit for an exacta. Um, that it's just having the time to do the old-fashioned handicapping. I'm really only looking for races that I see something in, and if
Hmm.
I don't see something, I'm just gonna sit on it.
Yeah, I did not play. So anybody played, I hope you've done well, but I have not at all. It usually produces bombs. It's a fun racing to watch, to be honest, whether you're betting or not. It's just really exciting. But I don't even know how to handicap it though, because there's like 20 to 30 horses sometimes, and like I'm like I don't even know where I would start. But it's always great racing, and I see a lot of people just if you pick bombs, sometimes you can hit big. So,
Yep. Yeah, there was in the race that I only played the exact in and didn't play the try. That try hit for $1,500.
wow. Yeah, nice.
So that there's definitely, and it was nothing crazy. It was a 10-to-1 winner over a 6-to-1 over I think a 12-to-1.
Mm-hmm. Wow. Wow. Well, all right, let's get after it. We have Woodbine coming up.
Yeah.
Made an optional claim, Oldy, on the turf. We do have a first-time starter here with a good GSR. I thought the two horse was interesting with that perspective versus quite a bunch, a bunch of losers, in my opinion. The three Blonde Dynamo taking quite a bit of money, the EquinEdge long shot. What were your thoughts here?
I thought this race was wide open. Um, I was one, so I did play a pick five at Woodbine, um, which started the previous race, and I was
Oh,
one, two,
okay.
three, five here.
Yeah. Yeah, I to be honest was landing on the two, the first time starter, as well as the five. I didn't know about the three Blonde Dynamo. I didn't know if this horse wanted the synthetic. Maybe I mean it did race, or it raced last out and had a higher GSR. It's been on the turf, so I just didn't. This horse is taking money though, but I wasn't sure about this. It's going to be on the lead though, right, Oldie? I mean that was my perspective here on the three.
Yeah, no, it should be on the lead. We don't really know for certain how fast the first time starter, the two is. The five's the second time starter, might show more speed. The two is showing that it really does not have a lot of speed. So either this is going to set up perfectly, and it might here because you know there's some, I mean, okay GSRs, but not great GSRs here on the turf. So I looked at this as you have all the metrics are pretty spread out here. For instance, you have the 5-4 as your top two E picks and 1-2 as your top win percentages. You have the 4 is your top SOR, the 3 is your top pace. So it's
Mm-hmm.
really the only thing that's matching in here is the 2 being the second win and the top GSR. Those are the only, and the 3 as top pace and E long shot. Those are the only
Mm-hmm.
ones, but it feels pretty wide open when I see stuff like that.
Yeah, the one continually drops, and I don't just. It is a tough betting race. I mean, the one continues to drop, which it
Yeah.
needs. I didn't really love this horse, but it is 24%. But I thought the 2 or 5 was on top for me. To be honest, looks like the 5 might go off as the favorite, which isn't surprising. The top equine
Yeah.
edge pick. The horse that ends up taking money, Navy Blue Angel, is only 4% to win. But Oldie, this horse it is lightly raced. It does get over to the turf course, which, after seeing last out and it gets to 2 churns, and there's not a lot here. This horse might run okay. I would obviously love to get a better price than 9-1. I think this horse could run okay underneath. I don't think it can win, but
Yeah.
I like the 2-5 on top with the 2-5-7 under.
No, that's not a bad play. I'm actually going to play a pick 3 here. So I'm going to do um, 1, 2, 3, 5, 1, 2, 6, 7, 2, 7, $6.40 for 20 cents. I'm playing it for 60.
What was it again?
1, 2, 3, 5,
Yeah,
1, 2, 6, 7,
yeah.
and then 2, 7.
All right, I dropped it in the chat. Anybody wants to play oldies, pick 3. I'm on the 2-5, right? And throw the 7 under, I think, in an exact. I'm not going to play any horizontals here, but looks like they're getting close to the gate. But I think if if the 5 wins, I think this horse is the chalk. It's probably the worst to beat. It does look like EquinEdge has it on top. So I just don't trust the pace here with these horses. I mean, been the one. I mean, gonna be on the rail. I think it's gonna send. I think on the turf course here. That's why I think the two, man. To your point, Oldie, you mentioned this earlier. This horse does have a good GSR and is going to be coming late. That's the horse from a GSR perspective. I for sure would be, needing to use. So
Yeah. No, and it isn't really getting bat either. It's dead on the board. And this might be a situation where we see this in, the average HPI batter does not. So I believe
yeah.
that's Woodbine's ADW is HPI.
Okay. Yeah. So looks like they're approaching the gate. I'm gonna
Yep.
flip over. Thank you to Woodbine, always letting us cover. Amazing. It is absolutely sloppy at Laurel. We will cover a little bit of that in a bit. Oldie, you have a pick 5 coming up at Laurel, right?
Yep, and I'm alive in the to my first horses at Laurel in the early pick 4 as well.
Okay.
So Blonde Dynamo has settled in. Danish Dynamite called up in the Hesty Sport colours. Bruno Schickedanz with Warashatz, gate 5 for Kazushi Kimura. High Treason is moving in. They're almost right. And to the outside gate, Amanda Vandermesh with Navy Blue Angel, the barn of Elizabeth Elder. Stand by for a start. The last along coming up now. Navy Blue Angel to the outside. Walks forward, has gone in. The field is now on their way. And slow Warashatz, best into stride. Danish Dynamite, and on the outside, Navy Blue Angel has gone to the front. Showing up is Blonde Dynamo. A length and a half away on the rail is Crash the Crease. Going forward now, Warashatz, and off the track, High Treason. Splitting horses is Surf and Surf. Out in front, Navy Blue Angel, 3/4. Blonde Dynamo, the inside. There's not a lot of pace on. A length, Danish Dynamite. Crash the Crease on the inside of Turf and Surf. 3 wide Warashatz, and at the back, High Treason on the outside, keeping tabs. And only 4 lengths covers them. Navy Blue Angel on the outside of Blonde Dynamo. A length away, Danish Dynamite. On the rail, Crash the Crease, and on the outside, Turf and Surf. Next to last, Warashatz, and last, High Treason. They all take a look at each other with no change. Out in front on the inside now, Blonde Dynamo pinches the lead from Navy Blue Angel. A length away third, Danish Dynamite. Crash the Crease on the inside as they swing off the turn. Turf and Surf is edging up. A length away, Warashatz. Last of all is High Treason. They come inside the half mile, and together up front, Blonde Dynamo, and on the outside, Navy Blue Angel. On the outside, Danish Dynamite coming after them now. On the rails, Crash the Crease, followed by Turf and Surf, Warashatz, and last is High Treason. They come inside the final 2.5, and Blonde Dynamo pressed by Navy Blue Angel. 3 wide, Danish Dynamite, and a length behind them, Crash the Crease and Warashatz. Danish Dynamite has gone to the front. Danish Dynamite narrowly. On the outside is Warashatz, battling away on the inside here, coming through his Crash the Crease is finishing really well. And now Warashatz has gone to the front with Crease. And Dynamo and Danish Dynamite had a chance, but Crash the Crease and Warashatz go away from them, and Crash the Crease in front. On the inside, the first time start of Rafael Hernandez wins by a length.
Boom.
Warashatz second. High Treason got in for show. Then Turf and Surf and Blonde Dynamo, 143.99.
Well,
Boom.
a great way to start, Oldie. Ends up going off at 9-2. Beats the favorite. 7 ran a good race, but obviously went to the lead, and which was good. Set up the pace. We talked a lot about the 2-horse, right? I mean, this horse, first time starter. On the turf, top GSR. We talk about this a lot on the coaching class, Oldie, of like, when do you use GSR? And that's like a perfect situation when you have a bunch of horses not running well. To your point, kind of wide open, right? You can't see a lot, but you have a GSR figure like that, and you get 9-2.
Well, and it's 19% to win too.
Yeah,
you have 2 things pointing at that horse, and I actually think that horse was much the best. It was kind of trapped in and couldn't get out, and had a rough trip and still won there up the rail, which is not really where you want to be necessarily on that turf course either.
Yeah, I mean, it was a good ride though. I mean, was able to save ground, didn't go too early. The thing that I appreciate a little bit by the jockey there, who was that? Rafael Hernandez, but he at least was patient. He didn't freak out, didn't like try to bully his way through horses. He let the rail open, and to your point, the horse was just much the best and just went flying home on the rail. So, a nice winner, 9-2. Your pick 3 advances. My exacta hits. Should have just pressed the 2 and 5, but I'll take it. I put a little win bet on the 2 as well. So,
Excellent.
All right. What do we got next?
We have
Gulfstream
race 4.
All right, and then pick 5 starts in race 5, right?
Correct. Yes.
All right, I think I got my ticket. It's ready to go. Yours is ready to go. Gulfstream race 4. 2-year-olds here, Oldy. I thought this was an interesting race. I didn't necessarily trust the 8. I thought Miss Sayali, the 3, was probably one of the most interesting horses for me. Was the top win percent, second EquinEdge pick, top GSR again. Wow. We just talked about that as a figure. Big GSR of 72.
And I mentioned to you that I'm doing a massive data study where I'm pulling all this stuff off of E and then figuring out the combinations and stuff like that to try to really get myself back on track here. The second, so that second E top win, top GSR wins at a 24% clip.
Wait, say that again.
So when you get second E set plus top win plus percentage plus top GSR, was that was no, this was second. So let me pull the right one. Second top GSR actually wins at a higher percentage. That's 29%.
Yeah.
So when you get those 3 metrics together, that's almost a 30%. Not win probability, but in the 416 races I've charted in the last week, that when that combo comes up, it's winning at 29%.
Wow. Yeah, I'm on the 3 here. And Mike, you can only give Oldy, or Daniel, you can only give Oldy half the credit because Oldy only got on that horse because I talked about it the most. So, but it is great, a great horse for the system, to be honest. And we have another one here, which I landed here as well. I thought the 3 horse though, Oldy was, or the 4 horse was also interesting. Buchera, I mean, this horse has run once, but is the pace of the race. It looks like Zayas rides for Maker, ran this was a 54 last out. So that was open company in a stakes race, right? For 2-year-old fillies. Yep. They obviously think a lot of this horse. Gets much, much easier here. I'm on the 3-4. I really couldn't separate them. You're not getting great prices, but I wouldn't, I'm not going to play a pick 6 today. I rarely do that as Oldy, but I don't know, maybe there's a pick 3 opportunity, but who did you like best here, Oldy?
I like the 3 best, I believe.
Yeah.
And this was top, that 4 is top pace, top SOR. That's about 17%.
Yeah. I mean,
which is right there with the win percentage, actually. It is first time Maker. So, you should definitely take that into account. But I think the 3 with that huge GSR advantage, too, is going to be a major factor here. That would be my top pick.
Yeah, I tried to get around the 8. I thought this horse might be bred for longer, but not that it can't sprint. I mean, it's a 2-year-old, so any horse can come out and sprint and win. But I just was worried a little bit about the pace of the 4 and the GSR of the 3 to try to get around this favorite part. And I think a little bit, Oldy, even though it's the top win and the top EquinEdge pick, I don't love the odds, right? So I think, if you really like the 8, you're just not getting a great price. I mean, you're only getting 9-5, where the system says you should be getting much closer to 2 times that at 9-2.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
And Daniel,
the 4 does have a positive on the morning line versus the negative there too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I just the horse has some experience, right? But I would play the 3 over the 4. Maybe box them as a saver, put a little bit extra of the 3 over the 4. We will only jump over to announcer Pete though, because they're getting ready to load 3-horse not wanting to
Over
load.
$135,000 in the Rainbow Six pool as race favorite
They're
Next on
almost
Stage
in.
has gone up. Here's Miss Saley.
Got a great price on that exacta Woodbine Oldie, 21.50 for a buck.
Chera.
43
And
bucks.
from the
for 2
outside,
bucks.
Talking Sassy.
That's pretty crazy.
There, Rimagate. And they're off.
5.
Messy start for Buchera. He bobbled a bit and was squeezed back. Good start on the outside for Tear Duck, who heads off for the early lead. Moving to her is Next on Stage, and down at the rail, Savannah Lady. Away in fourth is Cozy Colby, followed fifth by Miss Saley. Buchera improves after a rough start, racing ahead of Future Fortune and Let's Go Coco. Talkin' Sassy is last. Around the far turn they go. Tear Duck, 3 parts of length. Next on Stage is second. Moving on the outside, Cozy Colby is now third. At the rail in Savannah Lady, while fourth. Wide in fifth is Miss Saley. 2 back to Buchera. The rest are not of consequence. Opening quarter. Off the turn and
on.
Leon.
Ride.
With a 2-length lead on the outside. Cozy
get
Colby
up,
takes a shot second toward the rail. Next on Stage, she's now third. Miss Saley is fourth. There's an 1/8 of a mile to go. Tear Duck still in front. Cozy Colby starts to gain a bit of ground. 16th to run. Tear Duck almost there. On the outside, Cozy Colby cannot reach Tear Duck, who's hanging on for a gate to wire victory.
Well, favorite beatable there. 8 ran an okay race.
Yeah.
The 3 and 4 Oldie, that was tough. The 5 destroyed them at the start. It's going to be tough to come back from that when that happens. But all right, let's march on. 2-horse. We didn't talk at all about that horse, but 2% ran a big race there as a first-time starter.
We have a minute, so I want to give you a horse. So I was doing the coaching class last night, and they asked for a cheap pick 5, which I believe would still be alive. But take a look at the 9 at Ellis in race 5. Who's 18%. You're still sharing the
Tex Coco. I just jumped over. Top tied for top GSR. They're on the dirt. The source gets off the synthetic, so the GSR jumps 11 points. Ran well in 38, so can improve off the claim from Asmussen out of Turfway Park. Has Corrales riding, which is a great thing. Yeah, I mean, not taking money, which is a little bit surprising. We'll have to watch this race, Oldie. I think we can figure out how to squeeze it in before the Woodbine the next race. But yeah, I mean, trying to beat a fave here, another group of losers. This one hit the board twice. What's the workout story?
I did not.
Looks okay. I mean, the works. I always like everybody, to see, at least work
3-star work. Yeah. One of 2 3-star works in that race, and not exactly Secretariat running in that race, but the $20 pick 5 I gave out, which I believe is alive, would pay about $7,200, which of course I did not play, like an idiot, but I'd be alive to the 9, or anybody who was in the class who played it would be alive to the 9, I believe, right now for $7,200.
Did you single this horse?
Yes.
Wow. Yeah.
I singled this horse and the one in leg 3.
Wow. Well, good luck. We'll cover that, man. I want to make sure we watch that. So, but let's jump to Laurel, because we got 4 minutes till race number 5. It is sloppy, but they are still on the turf, it looks like. But we'll cover some races here. I did not play. I struggled to play horizontals at Laurel just because the pools are so small, but we'll play some verticals. But you played a pick 5 here, Oldie. I thought this first race, sprinting on the turf was rather interesting. I like the 2, 13, and 6. You have the 2, 6, and 7. So you're using the 7, the big favorite. I tossed this horse, but lots of speed here, right? But tell me about your thoughts here in race number 5.
Yeah, so lots and lots of speed, as you mentioned, which is why I have the 6 and the 2 there because they both can rate. Um, the you know the 7 is your top win percentage, top E pick, and not your top GSR. The 2 is your top GSR there, but the 7's also top pace and top SOR. Um, so that's why the 7 is a legitimate heavy favorite here. I do actually have a note on this horse as well. I did not feel this horse was a single because I think it would probably prefer dirt. The other thing you have to consider here is the rail is out at 87 feet
Mm-hmm.
because they've also divided up this turf course like we were talking about the Gulfstream turf course. But I think it's going to be tough for the wider speed horses to like the 12 to be able to. The 12's going to have to break really sharply and get around uh, pretty much the whole rest of the field on this with the rail out. And the 2 and the 6 are kind of mid pack horses that should get first run if the 7 stops. Is my thought.
Yeah, I thought, yeah, I don't disagree with anything you said. I think the 13 is very interesting. It'd be the only other horse that I would talk about here. Gets back to turf for the third time, but late in its career has been racing on turf. I don't necessarily, love to see they're all of a sudden trying that. But what I would say is the horse did run well for Jamie Ness here back in April as it sprinted on the turf. So it gets back here on the turf. It's only 6%, but you know, Rodriguez is riding as well. This guy can just win a boatload of races some days.
Yep.
And, we don't really know if this horse can kind of rate stock. It doesn't necessarily look like it can, but it has shown a little bit of ability. And with all of that pace, this horse is going to break and, it just can't get hung wide, but it has speed that you would assume the 12 is going to go with the 7, and this horse could sit the trip. So that was the other horse. I completely agree with your comments on the 2 and 6.
Yeah.
I have like the 2 best over the 13 and 6, but some combination of those. I'm hoping that the 7 stops here. I don't disagree. Ends up back with Mr. Cash, and it was at Pimlico racing in that tough starter optional claiming race.
Yeah, and as well, if you look at the 13 has never been just talking about this horse has never been more than a length back, or I'm sorry, never been more than let's call it 2 lengths back at
Mm-hmm.
first call.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not sure with the wide post breaking from the far outside with speed to the inside if it's further back than that how the horse might react to.
Yeah, although I mean, I think the horse is going to break fine and is going to show speed and hope that the 12. I mean, my hope is the 12 and 7 just kind of duel, and the 12 puts a bunch of pressure on the 7 because it's going to break, and 13 is able to just sit off a length or two. And and you can see, it's tried to do that, to your point, many times. It's given up the last 2, but I do love the move back to turf just because it did run really well here. And, it was only a 6-horse field. So much different group today, but I think this horse can race well. I don't know from a turf course, obviously, the turf course is they're saying Oldy it's good, but it looks like it's been pouring down rain for a while.
Yeah, the weather widget this morning said mist, and that was an alarm even before they had released any horses, and then they or not horses, any conditions, and then
Mm-hmm.
they left the MTOs in for a long time. It wasn't until like 11 o'clock that they released the Central Time, so 12 year time, when first post was at 20 after, that they released the MTOs and scratched them.
Yeah. Chris, welcome, brother. Leslie, thanks for joining. Everybody hit the like button. We appreciate it. We're glad you're here. Laurel race number 5 is coming up. That is Oldy's pick 5 right there. He is 267. I talked a lot about the 13. I think the 2 is going to run a great trip here. Another top GSR horse, Oldy, which we've talked about many times. Going to be coming off the pace, is going to need to improve, I would say, though. This horse has definitely been facing easier horses, but did win last out, right? And, it's third time for this trainer off the claim. They put this horse on the turf, which is where it should be. It had been on the dirt predominantly on a lot of those past races. So I think this horse is dangerous to try to upset the 7, but Oldy, good luck. I hope you get the 2 home. It looks like they're getting close to the gate, although the jockey just jumped off the 2 for some reason.
And as well, while we have a minute, let's congratulate Chris on finishing in the top 10 of the Horse Players Happy Hour yesterday and qualifying for a BCBC, not spot, but for a direct BCBC qualifier, as well as frequent or sometimes show guest Brad Anderson, who won the overall Horse Players Happy Hour. So good. And somebody else in the chat also finished in the top 15. So
nice.
So and I believe he actually had 3 in the top 15. And so the chat itself did really well yesterday in the Horse Players Happy Hour, and we have a bunch of people that'll be represented in that BCBC contest. And good luck to them, but congratulations that they hit a huge only pace winner in the second to last race to come from off the pace, if you will. And then Brad hit a double long shot double basically in the last 2 races, both over 10-1, to come from completely off the pace and win the whole thing. So it was pretty impressive. Yeah, Seth got 2 entries. That's who it was. Congratulations, nice. Seth. And they all also got playoff points. This was the first week for the Horse Players Happy Hour. They also both got playoff points for the last chance tournament. And if you win the overall points race, you get a BCBC seat automatically as well.
You'll have to, I have no idea what all of this Horse Player Happy Hour is, but you'll have to explain to viewers only after this race. But they are moving into the gate. Oldy has the 267. I am on the 213 and 6. I played a little exacta. We are almost ready. We will see, Oldy, what the space looks like. I think it's going to be hot, but the rail is out, like you said, so going to be interesting.
Yeah, and I'm going to put after this race, I'll put the
threat level midnight sent out with the early
WhatsApp chat into the chat here.
In the far outside, firing up into second. Ever so do wild out of the inside, racing fourth. Tricky Nicky and Lady Jean racing outside of that. Tricky Nicky's dropped back a little bit. Prepare for takeoff. Is now past that one. And then back to Lily Simone is racing back in the pack with Gold Time Vixen and Jenny Highway. Jenny Highway trailing the field some 10 off a speed of threat level midnight. Threat level midnight a length from Epicurean on the outside in second, and Claire's Darling down to the inside in third. As ever so to wild looks for a spot between horses. Lady Jean's on the far outside.
This train, big race.
Lily Simone
definitely
saves
looks like
ground and beginning to gain as well.
Here, but
wide open,
see.
A fair quarter of a mile left
There's
to go.
Threat
level midnight
right
Epicurean charging through down to the inside. There is Claire's Darling trying to get
close.
through. In between horses, Lily Simone
is
kicking. Here comes Lily Simone splitting horses. Lily Simone splitting horses to a narrow lead with a 16th of a mile left to go. Lady Jean on the outside moves to second. Lily Simone does it. Put it by a length from Lady Jean second, close third.
What?
We beat the 7. Oh,
we beat the 7, and I had those were the other 2 horses I used. Top GSR, second win percentage. Shugsy, so here I'm throwing this into the chat right now. hold on. Let me actually do this right instead of throwing the tweet in. Actually, let me just copy and paste the chat instead of copy link address.
Well, we beat. I gave you guys all three of
Yeah.
those horses. I hope somebody played the trifecta. I only played the exacta, but played the two on top. That was amazing. But there's the link that Oldy mentioned for the chat group.
Yeah, and you know,
The trifecta going to pay nice. You get 7-2 over 9-2 over the 13 ends up going off at 6-1, which was just crazy. But Oldy, just like the 7 goes fast, gets out there, but ends up
Yep.
backing up and stopping. So, but nicely done on your pick 5, which is right there.
and
Well done.
I actually made a profit on my pick 4 there as well. I was using the same horses at the end there. Sounds like my audio's all messed up all of a sudden.
Oh, you're fine. I hear you
Okay.
fine.
There was an echo for a second. Yeah, the 2 got bet all the way down to 7-2, but in the will pays for the pick 4, not a huge winner because it was pretty chalky, but pays like 70 something bucks.
Well, nicely done. Exacta gonna pay well. If anybody played the trifecta, good for you. I did not. I only played the exacta, but
Yeah.
that was a good one. Beat the 9-5 chalk there. But let's keep rolling, Ollie. Good start to the show. We have well, we got Woodbine in 7 minutes, but let's cover Gulfstream because I think they have a pick 5 coming up, correct?
Correct, yes.
All right, let's go. That is your ticket there. We are starting in race number 5. You played a $120 ticket. I think I'm playing the same if I remember correctly. You are 2, 4, and 7 here in the first race. Yep. Luna Tuna, the pace of the race. The 3s, EquinEdge long shot, which you did not use. And then a couple horses that'll probably come off the pace in the 4 and 7.
Yeah, I mean, the 4 could be on the pace too. But the 4 can rate. The 7, if this has a pace breakdown, the 7 was the only horse I trusted in that situation. And that's really the only reason I'm using the 7 here. I was very close to going 2-4 only here. Top E pick, top 2 picks, top 2 win percentage matching. The 2's also your top GSR. Those, when you get those 3 as a combo too, that wins at almost 45%. So and then you also have the 2 as your top SOR. So in theory, the 2 should win here or has a good shot at winning, but because of the pace scenario here, and you have to take everything into account, I had to use other horses here.
Yeah. The 3-run GP race 5. What do you mean? Well, you think the 3 is going to win, Chris. I'm using that horse. I am using the 2. Here's my ticket. We'll jump back and forth. I'm singling a race 7, a price as always. Oldy, I'm not going to use your single just because if I did, then my ticket might not win. So I just decided to scratch, just take the favorite out of that race. But 2, 3, 4, 7 for me. I am using the 3 just because if this 2 or 3 get loose, they're going to be extremely dangerous, in my opinion. So the Journey Girl going to be on the lead, likely needs the lead as well as the 2. We could see a duel here. They are going to be on the dirt, and the speed can really hold. But in Oldy, Ellis race 5 is coming up. So
yes.
Pause, everybody. We will be back. We're going to listen to Ellis race 5. Oldy really had a great early pick 5 that he gave out on the coaching class. Is alive and singled to the 9, Oldy, who is currently 14-1. Corrales is riding. We will listen in, everybody. We can't watch, but they are loading the 9 horse, Tex Coco. Tied for top GSR, off the claim for Asmussen from Foster, Foster from Asmussen, Corrales riding. This horse is going to be interesting, Oldie.
Yeah.
I think it has a good shot to run well. We will see. Looks like 2 more to load.
Yeah, I mean, the other horse I liked here was the 3 rather than the favorite, the 5. So, I probably just put the 5 in the winner's circle by saying that, because that's the way that things just happen to work. But
they're the gate, and they're off. Tangled start for Reprehend. Good start for Absolute Courage, and the favorites in front right off the mark. Dex Coco from the far outside and Patrolman. They're sent up 2 and 3 wide to challenge on around that.
Come on,
turn.
Tex.
And then it's Matlock in behind 4th. Speed Institute racing in 5th. Rivers over. Checked off Theo's there back into 6th. Phil Harmonic is at the back with slow starting. Reprehend.
My old friend Phil Harmonic.
Absolute Courage shows the way. Pressure from Tex Coco.
Sorry, that was a dad joke.
2nd and 3rd, right alongside. A length and a half back to Speed Institute.
8 racing in between the 5 and 9. Tex Coco on the outside, been wide the whole race. Gonna be tough to just run out wide like that the whole race. You talked about the 3 Oldie running behind.
Yep.
Here's the half, 47 and 1. Far turn run. Absolute Courage tries to extend the margin now. Opens up by 3.
Come on, Tex.
Come on, Tex.
Throughout, but is now second. Patrol
5 is in hand, though, is the problem.
Institute's worked out a good trip so far. Is right there in behind and is coming off the rail with a length and a half to make up. And 2 Rivers.
4 has a lot of horse.
While down inside, and Phil Harmonic switched to the far outside. They're off the turn. Speed Institute.
Sorry, guys.
To the front. Speed Institute's off.
But it is a 3.
4 gonna probably run second.
16th. Speed Institute in front. 2 Rivers over, coming after Speed Institute. Absolute Courage fights.
4 might get up.
Speed Institute, Absolute Courage.
Yep. And 4 did
get
up.
Nailed them. Last.
9 ran wide the whole race. That's going to make that tough always. But back to regular programming. Gulfstream Park had some fun at Ellis there for a minute. I'm using the 3. This horse can be on the lead with the 2. They're going to have a lot of speed, but the speed can hold on the dirt. So 4, I think, can run a good race. Has burned some money though in the 7, just like you said, Oldie, coming off the pace. I think we're using similar horses in the next race, but a little bit different. You're using 2, 4, 5, and 7. I think I'm using 2, 4, 5, 6 and no 7, but you got this 7 on the lead, big pace advantage. Although I think there's going to be more pace in this race than we expect. But talk to me about this one.
The only reason I'm using the 7 was not just because it was because of the 40-point pace advantage, but it's also top SOR here. I actually think that I have the 4 marked here as good chalk, and I have the 5 marked as bad chalk as well. Even though I used the 5, it was a defensive use there.
Yeah, it's dropping. They're on the Tapeta, right? And like this horse has been on the turf predominantly, and they continue the racing on the Tapeta course here. It's Bob Hesto picks this horse up, right? I think this horse is live. It's probably a use in horizontals. Like I don't, it wants the turf, but I think it can win. It also, you have a pace setup potentially. In my opinion, I think, Jaramillo is riding the 2. This horse might show speed.
We're loading at Woodbine, by the way.
Okay. Yeah. This horse might show speed, and at the same place, the 4 might show speed. So it will be interesting, but yeah, to your point, Oldy, we got Woodbine going over the top of Gulfstream. Well, we got 2 minutes till Gulfstream. So we'll watch this Woodbine race and jump back.
On their way and a good start. Alan Diggs won it, dashes out in front. And going through near the inside is Love to Win, and showing up is On the Rails Mental John. Mr. Narcissistic is there as well as Rolling Hill.
Mr. Narcissistic.
Ultimately lad behind the main pack. A long last early Prince Sussex to the rail. Having a shot for the lead here is Rolling Hills and darts up to hit the front narrowly with Alan Diggs. A length and a half. Mental John nicely placed with Love to Win the center. On their outside, Mr.
1, 2, 6, 7.
Ultimately lad. 5 away last Prince
5
Sussex.
just did a huge favor to a lot of these horses.
rolling hills. Mendel John getting to work on the inside, traveled
The
the best
7
so
and
far.
1 are
And
running
on the outside,
nicely.
Mr. Narcissistic,
Yeah.
and off is Walter Lad. It's
That
Alan
other
Diggs in
horse
front.
is
Mendel
tired,
John
it
trying to
looks
get off
like.
the inside now coming, and
The
Prince
3.
Sussex is
I don't think
flying
that
from
horse can
last
win.
up the inside like a train, and out in front is Alan Diggs by a length and a half. Prince Sussex made up a ton of ground on the outside. Mendel John's had a chance. Walter Lad coming on. Alan Diggs is in front, charging after is 4 horses, but none of them have made up the ground, and Alan Diggs will withstand that force of attack by a length and a half.
Well,
Walter
6
Lad
to
said
1,
Mr.
nicely done on
Narcissistic
your
narrowly
pick 3. Moves on. All right, let's keep going because
Yeah,
we're gonna
we
do.
only have a minute. And I really want to talk about my single versus your single here as well.
Yeah, go. You can go. We'll jump to race 8. That's Oldy's single there. Go ahead, Oldy.
So I mentioned I've been charting races, which is, basically manually entering things into Excel. I've done 416 races. Of those 416 races, this is the 4th time that a horse has come up as top E pick, top win percentage, top pace, top SOR, and top GSR. And as you can imagine, the sample size is small, but those horses have been highly successful. So I am just making a straight metric play here on the 5 to be the single. And
Yeah,
it's
we talked briefly. This horse is coming over from Safi's 3rd start, right? I don't know if it was private purchase or what, but 3rd start for Rodriguez. For a second, I thought this was Rudy for a
Rudy.
minute.
Yeah,
but,
I fall for that all the time.
But I was like, oh, that's not Rudy. But I was reading the chat there for a second, but sorry everybody. But I don't know about this horse. I just don't like. I think it wasn't a stakes. This was way too tough. It won by a bunch here. I think they're going to send. There's going to be speed. I think the one's going to go, which Safi has. So Safi new horse for Safi old horse. I ended up spreading a little bit here and just trying to beat the favorite, but it's going to be interesting for sure. I just my concern is it's going to be a short price and there's a few. I thought the 6 it'll be fun to watch this race. I think the 6 who stumbled to its knees last out at Tampa is actually really interesting here and has run really well in the Gulfstream dirt. So I thought this horse was beatable, to be honest. So if I'm going to use 2 or 3 more horses, I just won't use the chalk. But that was how I played it, Oldie.
That makes sense. I mean, you're following where your style and the way you see things. So I get it. The metrics are showing something that I'm not seeing on the 5. And usually when I play against that, that's when I get myself in trouble, when I over handicap. I'm trying to not over handicap. Though I did in the last over handicap a little bit because I used the 6, which you did not use. Because I thought something was suspicious here. Number one, the works are pretty impressive on the 6, and it's also positive work notes from Bruno, but it's also a 0% trainer that draws Miggy. And we've seen this before where you get a horse that all of a sudden draws a top jockey, especially in a maiden race that you would think that on paper doesn't look like much, and that jockey's there because that horse is live.
Yep. All right, Marco, welcome from Cape Town. We're glad you're here. We're covering Gulfstream at the moment. Oldy, here we go. I am 2347 here. You are
247.
247. No 3 for you. Lots of speed. I could talk about my single when we get to the race. I think the pace is going to stop in that race on the Tapeta, going 2 turns. I don't think a lot of the horses in a price at 12 to 1 or 15 to 1 is an 18% win going to be coming off the speed. So we will see. No sound.
3 broke last.
Well, that may make it tough to beat.
With Find Your Passion alongside. Up on the far outside, Another Day Gone By, and Splitting Horses, Hollywood Honey. Then it's back to She's a Gift ahead of India Palaga. And after the slow start, the Journey Girl is last of the 7 as they chase the race favorite Luna Tuna. Luna Tuna working off the inside with the lead, 3 parts of a length. On the outside, Find Your Passion is second, wider out, and Another Day Gone By. Sliding through at the rail, it's India Palaga. She's a joint 4th alongside Hollywood Honey. Then back to She's a Gift and 2.5 to the trailer, The Journey Girl. They leave the backstretch and move around the far turn at the 3 furlong point. Luna Tuna still has the lead. Find Your Passion creeping closer second. Another Day Gone By working overtime, 3 wide third. At the rail, it's India Palaga, who's now 4th ahead of She's a Gift in 5th with 5/16 remaining.
The 2 looks
Find
done,
Your
Oldy.
Passion now up to take the lead.
4
Luna-
looks gone to me. Hand ride so far.
Had Another Day Gone By. India Palaga saved a ton of
5
ground
is,
off
I
the
think,
corner.
might win the
Morocco
race, to
slides
be
through
honest.
inside on her, and they're at the top of the stretch. Find Your Passion with the lead. India Palaga with a rail run. She's closing ground. Outside Another Day Gone By. There's an 1/8 of a
horse
mile to
gonna stop,
Find Your
but-
Passion responding to challenges.
Well, I need
India
the 7 to get up in
and She's a
front of
Gift
the 5.
to
in
the
case
wire.
finally
they,
got out.
Find Your Passion in front. She wins by a length and a half. Another Day Gone By second. India.
I was concerned if there was a what's the word I'm thinking of? An inquiry. I wanted the 7 and ahead of the 5 because the 4 did cut off the 5 a little bit on the rail and shut it off. We're good jockeying, but that's why I used the 4 there. I knew the 4 could rate a little bit, and they didn't go too fast and burn up the 4 early, and carried on perfectly.
Yeah, we beat the favorite, which is good, but it would have been nice, to your point, to see the
7 get up.
the 7 get up, but we advanced, which is a good thing. Oldy, I put your ticket in there. I'll drop mine in the chat if anybody wants to play that for maybe a pick 4 or something. I meant to drop it before, but I think everybody got a chance to see it. I tried to drop it in there, Oldy. It'll make it a little bit easier for people. I can try to do it in advance, everybody, but that was mine. To your point, the 2 or the 3 just did not break, right? I mean,
Right.
Was pretty much done after that, which it didn't really matter because the favorite, the 2, still stopped, even though he just got pressure from the 4 horse.
Yeah, I mean, it was just straight pressure, and had the 3 gotten the lead, I don't know what the 2 would have done there. Would it have stopped? Would it have? Does it not want the lead maybe and wanted to press? I'm not sure.
Mm-hmm. No inquiry at this point at Gulfstream, so maybe it holds. Laurel in 6 minutes, Oldie. So you have the 2 and the 12 in your
10 and 12.
actually, what did the trifecta pay? Trifecta here at Laurel paid.
It looks like my
80
horse.
bucks.
Wait,
Yeah,
I'm
or
so
160.
confused. Okay, I'm looking at the wrong race. That's why. So I'm 10-12 here. So the 10 is 2-1. The 12 is 4-1. The horse I really liked in this race scratched out. So, that
You
kind of
didn't use the 8, Oldie.
did not use the 8. No.
That'd be my top pick with the 12 to beat the 10. I was on the 8-12 here. I couldn't really separate them. I would put probably the 8 on top over the 12, but I thought the 8 had a really, really good potential here off the layoff. But tell me about the 10 and 12.
So the 10 and 12, let's start there. Top pick. Only 16% because the win percentage algorithms haven't updated since since all these scratches. But win over 60s on the dirt. This is on the dirt. His 2 wins over 60. Is second time Jamie Ness. Had start trouble last time on the turf. Moves back, didn't perform as well as you would expect. Now moves back to dirt. I think this horse is pretty strong here. The 10 is your top pace. Also, second pick. The 10, if the 10 gets the lead, and it's 100% about the 10 getting the lead, and the 10 actually has rated before, so I should point that out. So it's not 100%, but most of this horse's races have been at a similar level to this. Beat 60s, beat 56s, went up to 68s, 66s, and it was too good at Pimlico, and now is dropping back into a more reasonable spot. So those were the two I used. I just want to say on your 8, my concern was more around the distance than anything else. I think this is a horse that would prefer 2 turns.
Yeah, I mean, the thing 7 can be such a tricky distance, but you can see that in the GSR Plus. I mean, it's down here at 59. I mean, it has been racing predominantly at 6. You look at its wins, and it's 8.5 and 5.5. So, I think 7 can be tricky, which might cost it. But Barbosa rides. I was on the 12 here over the 10. I think the 10 might give it up here on the dirt. The 12 may end up going off as the favorite. 10 taking money, which is not surprising, but you're not getting much of a price. But win percent show this is obviously fairly wide open. We didn't talk at all about the 11, Oldy, but this horse has run well at 7 furlongs. Any thoughts here on Tweet Away Robin?
I look closely at this horse as well. And this could have been an Ollie picks, and it could be an Ollie picks trifecta too. I just wonder from, coming from in between those horses, this horse can only rate a little bit. I don't know if this horse is quite as good as those other 2 horses. I'd be looking at, if I were looking for a long shot here, I might be looking at the 9, who can come from off the pace, or the 7.
Okay. Well, we will see 2 minutes away. They are rounding behind the gate. Oldy, I'm going to run to the restroom for a minute. Hold us down for a second before Laurel comes back. I'll jump over to the video, so at least we have the video up. And hold on, we lost our Gulfstream sound last race, but hopefully it's back. Okay, I'll be right back.
All right. Yeah, so, I think if I were looking for a long shot, the 7, if there's a pace meltdown here, the 7 needs the pace, and, has come up short a couple times or a few times at this level because it hasn't gotten it, but it could potentially get the setup here. Was at 8.5, was 3rd in the slop. So that this horse is not going to have a problem with the wet here. Also has a wet GSR of 63. Been running at this level, has a 2nd, has a 3rd, and another 2nd at this distance.
Now approaching the gate.
So I just think that horse has a good chance of it. If the top pace horses, the 10 and the 12, don't win as well, as well as you have the 6 here, who's pretty fast, and the 11. I think that the 7, who is your tied for your bottom pace, might be the horse to play here. The 9 also has an E morning line angle going from 12 to 1 to 9 to 2. So might be worth a play there too. But if you look here, the 9 has a little GSR drop, going to wet, and just looks a little bit further below to me the 7 in terms of the horses.
The horses, the race starting gate.
Thanks everybody for tuning in. Beautiful Friday. The stretch run into the weekend. We're an hour in. We'll be here for another couple hours. I'm glad I don't live in Baltimore or in Maryland, because that looks awful right now if anybody is there. Los Al starts today, I think, Oldy, correct?
Los Al Thoroughbred, yeah, I think their 2 or 3 week meet starts today.
Yeah, and then Del Mar starts on July 21st, I think. Friday.
So Los Al gets like a month?
Yeah, if they run the whole time. I don't know how long they're racing for, but yeah, Del Mar's not till the 21st. Whatever, it's 3 weeks from Well, must be 4 weeks from today. Yeah.
Well, at Los Al, the one rule seems to always be to bet the Bafferts there, even more than usual.
Champagne
He
toast.
cleans up there.
Well, a bunch of scratches here on the inside. I don't think it's going to affect these posts because of that. Lot of
#lucky moving
lot
in.
of the 12, a lot of money coming in on the 12. Well, the 10 going to
Drive
float
down
up a little
next.
bit. We will see. I'm putting the 8 here on top and then boxing with the 12. The 11, 18-1 is EquinEdge long shot. Big potential, but we will see if
Golden
that
Effect.
horse can run well.
And, I really think if this pace melts down, which is possible,
I'm getting
I think
there.
the 7 or the 9 are the horses to watch. I talked about this. There's an E morning line angle that you would love on the 9.
Tweet away.
12-1 on the
Robin.
morning line, 9-2 on the E morning line, and sitting at 12-1.
Yeah, I cut that horse for whatever reason.
And the
Was
7's just
2%.
missed a bunch of times at this level.
Respectfully, 7-5. Tweet away. Robin moving in. Here's Respectfully. And they're off.
12 and they
Respectfully
get the
with a sharp
lead.
break on the outside.
Well,
I'm
10
getting
broke
there. Here's
out into
#lucky
the
moving
11.
through down to the inside, showing early speed as well. And Golden Effect is up close there in fourth. Will settle. Tweet away. Robin
Well,
had a good break
12
today.
not
He's
going
on
to
the
get
far
over
outside there. Another 3 lengths back, and it's Dry Well. Another 2, and it's Champagne Toast. And trailing the field is, in my opinion, they raced on the backstretch with 5 furlongs left to go. Respectfully, the favorite pouring on the speed, opening up a length and a half on Golden Effect and Tweet away. Robin #lucky at the rail racing 4th. I'm getting there is in 5th, and Dry Well 6th on the inside, in advance of Champagne Toast, and in my opinion, still in the back of the pack. 3.5 furlongs left to go. Jamie Rodriguez and Respectfully, they're rolling right along with a 2-length lead. It's a comfortable lead too. Respectfully, a 3-length lead from Golden Effect, fully
Anybody
extended
coming?
second. Tweet away.
Yeah.
Robin's under a drive
Here
in
comes the
third.
8 and the
On
7.
the inside, I'm getting there is 4th. Dry Well 5th. #lucky is dropped back, in my opinion, and Champagne Toast, and Respectfully turns for home, a strong leader by 5. Respectfully by almost 6 lengths now.
Come on,
And
8. Get
second
up
is
for
Golden
second.
Effect on the inside. I'm getting there, is trying to get there into the exacta. Dry Well on the outside has a chance to run
7's going to do what the
second
7 does,
but
which
Respectfully
is
in a
run up
super
into it.
performance here
Get
to
up for
Jamie
second.
Rodriguez. He's got a triple. Jamie Rodriguez triple, Respectfully, flashing home a 7-length win. I'm getting there second.
Winner's
Dry
a winner,
Well
Oldy. That is all that matters. The 12 absolutely romped, though.
Yeah, and look at the pace numbers on that too. Those times are right. That was a hot early pace for 7 furlongs.
Yeah, I mean, and they sent that. I mean, that horse was, if we
loaded.
jump back to the system, it was loaded and ready to go. I mean, at a 71, so I mean, was up there. The 6 wasn't fast enough. I was surprised the 8 showed a lot of early speed, but ended up, backing off, which was a good thing. But the 12, for Ness, I mean, he had that horse second off the claim, ready to roll.
Absolutely, that horse was as loaded as you would expect from a Jamie Ness horse that didn't belong on the turf, coming back to where it belongs. Right? And that was, I was talking about this. So we had a horse owner yesterday on my class, and he was talking about how the system was showing him where that they had placed the horse correctly, and the horse won the race that he had it in too. And he's like, I thought the horse was ready to go, but this just confirmed it for me. It was top win percentage and top GSR. And I started talking to him about the fact that, Scotty's working on the equine breeder project where you'll be able to get the GSR ahead of time before you go and buy a horse or breed a horse, so, it's another case here where when you place your horses correctly, they run better, go figure.
Yeah, no, it's so true. It really is. So, All right. Well, your pick 5 moves on. Oh, Oldy, what did the pool end up being in the pick 5?
I don't want to say it out loud. It was like 13 grand.
That just makes it tough, man. You can put together a great ticket, and
Well,
like
but you know, it sounds like it's tough, but you also have an opportunity to eliminate tickets they're a lot easier because there's a lot less tickets out there. It was 12.5 actually.
Oh,
The pick 4 took 20,000. But you know, so if we can get one or two, if we can beat a couple more favorites here, it could still play pretty decently.
okay.
And also, you know, there is a carryover potential because of that too.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that makes sense. I don't know. It makes it tough. We have 12 minutes till Woodbine race number 5. Oldie, you are closing out a pick 3 here, correct?
Correct. To the 2 and the 7. And the will pays on that for 20 cents. The 7 is 17.70 and the 2 is 29.63. I played it for 60 cents. You know, the other horse that's in that same neighborhood that's taking more money on the win line right now is the 6.
I thought this race was really tough, to be honest. I thought the 1 could win. I thought the 3 could win. I thought the 5 could win. The 7. I mean, good for you for narrowing. I hope you get it through. I thought this was a tough race.
You know, the way I look at this, if the 2 gets to the lead, I think the 2s could be gone. I wasn't sure if the 7 could rate. That was my only question on the 7. But you know, it did come really close against 52s going this distance, and then you know 54s it didn't break well, but you know bump start and closed up for second, but was a long way off. But you know if this horse breaks slow again, the 2 could get a really easy lead here. And you see that the next time out it broke slowly too, the 7. So I was able to narrow to the fact that I thought, well, maybe the 2 gets an easy lead here. And if it doesn't, maybe the 7, you know, on the drop can close into this.
Yeah. 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 I mean, I could see it. I mean, for sure. I'm gonna play a $4.80 pick 3 this time, Oldie, and single the 3 in race number 7, Mo Touring, which I think is a Cassie horse.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, no, I like Mo Touring as well there, which should scare all of us. If Justin and I agree on something, it's usually a bad sign.
Well, maybe it'll be good today, but that would be my pick 3, $4.80 at a 20-cent denomination. Trying to beat some chalk in these couple of other races. I did narrow here in race number 6, Oldie, but I don't know. I used a couple of okay prices with a couple of favorites, but I think it was an interesting little sequence, even though Mo Touring is going to be a fave here in this optional claim probably, but to me, just looked like much the best.
Yeah, and if you wanted to do this, and I'm not saying this is a great idea, but if you wanted to play all 3, that's $11.20, and that's taking advantage of the fact that it's a 20-cent denomination.
Yeah, I mean, what could happen, right? You have all this speed here, and I just got rid of it and expected somebody to come off, but you never know. To your point, I mean, you have a 9%, a 3%, and a 5%. So, trainer jockey it well. Esteban Flores riding there, Campos riding on the 8. Like somebody stumbles, somebody gets loose. Any of those horses probably could go. I didn't think they had a lot, but to your point, like some of these may run, and they could run on the front end and get brave. So yeah. Go ahead.
For $11.20, I'm just going to take the shot at all 3, and it covers because in my pick 5, I am 2x2 in these last 2 races, so it covers me for that too.
Well, good. All right. Well, that is Woodbine race number 5 play. we will get to race 6 and 7 in a little bit. But Oldy, because Gulfstream Park is falling over the top of Woodbine today, let's talk Gulfstream race number 6. You are 2, 4, 5, and 7 in your pick 5. We are on leg 2. You talked about the 5 being somebody you didn't love, but who did you end up in the 7 being the pace horse, which is taking money? But who was your top pick here?
Give me one sec here. So the
6 is the
race
favorite
6,
at the moment, if that scares you.
that does a little bit, but I think I like the 4 the best here.
Ready, seek, and go.
I
Great name.
almost singled the 4 here. My original ticket actually singled the 4.
I think this horse is going to show speed, and I think it's going to destroy the 7. And that's where I think somebody like the 6 could come off, the 2 could come off, or the 5. But it'll be interesting. That horse is not taking money currently for Edwin Gonzalez riding for Jen Antonucci, but we will see. It's going to be a good race.
Yeah, and that horse can rate a little bit, so it doesn't have to go. It may, and what we don't know, and what the pace number seems to indicate is maybe this horse was just running in races that had no pace, and therefore was closer to the lead. Because if you look at like the January 15th, 2023 race on the turf, it broke 8th and was running 8th. So I do wonder about that a little bit, but the 4 was definitely far and away my top pick here.
Yeah, the 2 horses is going to be interesting. Only I don't know if Jaramillo going to show speed here. He could. I just don't think that this horse has shown speed on the Tapeta before. I just don't think they're going to let the 7 get loose. But I could be wrong. I could.
Yeah, I mean, the 7's a straight. It was just the obviously the GSR goes down, but from a 40-point pace advantage or 30-point pace advantage, and then also an advantage on the SOR as well.
Big drop.
Yeah.
They're giving this horse up for sale. I mean, had been racing an allowance company in the 60s, right? And now they drop into a 52. So there's definitely problems here, right? I mean, the horse, tired, vanned off, tired, they drop, which is what they need to do. So it's kind of almost like a fire sale.
Altered, yeah. I mean, this horse probably goes 6 or 7 lengths, I think, to the lead and goes too fast and stops. That's what I think actually is likely to happen more than somebody else going with the horse. I think this horse just goes crazy on its own.
Yeah, no, for sure. Well, you need the 2, 4, 5, 7. I need the 2, 4, 5, 6. No 7. I am using the long shot Oldie for Zayas. I thought about this horse being a single for a moment. With Zayas riding, right? This horse is a long shot. It's 6. It has at this surface and distance has 3 wins and 6 tries, and it's hit the board 5 out of 6 times. Wants to go on the 2-turn Tapeta, which it gets today. It had been on the turf. It's been on the dirt. You look in these other 2-turn races, and it's run respectable races versus much tougher. I think the concern is, which might help it with the 7 flying out there. This horse has no speed. But
the other thing I see here is just that the form's been bad since the beginning of the year. Because there are actually 2 synthetic 2-turn races in there, and that they both were poor.
But off the claim, 3rd off the claim. So keep that in mind is my only comment, I would say. I don't know who that trainer is, but he didn't know what he was doing putting that horse on the dirt.
Yeah, but he did have it. So he claimed the horse. No, that was the old trainer who put it on the dirt, and then it was claimed, and he put it back on synthetic at this distance. At
But
a
look back
similar
here
level.
But look when Carlos David had
Yeah.
it, right? I mean, there was a while ago, it was in a tough posture. This horse ran back-to-back second places in 50. So, you know, and you get Zayas, which is going to be, you know, you compare Zayas to many of these. You know, so it's going to be a good race though. I'm excited to watch it. We have Woodbine and Gulfstream. They're just coming out to the track. So it looks like Woodbine, it's now raining only.
And I'm not sure the Woodbine rules for whether, you know, if they stay on the turf. Yeah, it does look pretty wet there. Unless that's the clouds. I can't tell from there, you know, from the smoke that they were talking about.
Oh, yeah. Is the smoke still bad in Canada and down into the US on the East Coast?
It looks more like smoke to me. I just enlarged and went full screen on my other screen, and I do not see rain coming down.
Well, we will see. Tony, it's been a good show so far. We've had a few winners, some verticals, horizontals are in play. It's been the best show in a while. It's been a little bit cold, so it's glad we started off with winners and exactas and trifectas and pick threes. And Tony, you've tuned in at a great time. No smoke, so it's raining. Shugsy said. So yeah, that it does look like it might be. Scott said, check the weather map. All right. Well, I think the 7's beatable here. I'm using them all in a pick 3. I'm playing it for cheap, singling the 3 Mo Touring there in race 7, using a few in the next. But I think this is a tough race. I don't think this just sets up for the 7, even though it's the top pick and it's even money. I actually didn't use the 4, so I had to increase my ticket 80 cents or something. And just added them all. But yeah, we will see. I think the 7 is for sure, you know, interesting. The GSR, you know, you can toss the last race. This horse's GSR dropped 30 points. So it's getting back to sprinting on the synthetic course here at Woodbine. And it's the right spot. You could see it nearly won. It's dropping in SOR. It should win. It should. But we will see.
And we're going in the gate and putting a hood on the 6 maybe, or they're just fixing the equipment. I can't tell.
Blanketed now in low cloud cover, and
I'll keep one eye on Gulfstream for you in the meantime too.
Somewhat gloomy skies here today at Woodbine as they move up.
Here too on the side.
They're going forward with Midnight Ramblin' ahead of Mia and Me. Goes to the line now with the gate open from the front. Ryan Munger looking for a double.
The 1 don't want to load, y'all.
Nope.
Well, I should say looking for
Gate.
a
The
win
guy
yesterday.
trying to load there looks like it might be a.
They move up for a start with Mia and Me.
He's just kind of wandering back.
This field sees 2 last start winners. The other is Amber Light. Coming forward now is Amber Light.
2 took a lot of money late.
Jockey David Moran.
Yeah, dude. Well, floating up a little bit now, but
Highland Life and Sky
Big
Chanel
horse too.
3. On the move is Candy Street for Jason Hoyt, out to big odds, 30 to 1. Boss Holiday is next. Last along is Jamista. Outside gate here for Kazushi Kimura on the race favorite. In the lime green, goes to the line. This field is now all in, locked up. Trouble near the inside. Mia and Me
the
trying to get
frickin'
through
one.
the front of the gate.
That was the one.
Down.
almost hopped out of the gate.
Yeah.
They're off, and the starter got
Can't
them out
believe
in
they
an
just-
absolute line. Boss Holiday narrowly in front soon after from Highland Life, bidding for the lead, a length Amber Light. And over on the outside, Midnight Ramblin', Jamista started to move up, back to second
was
last.
that a
Early is
decision
Candy
to
Street, and on
wait
the
on the
inside is
two?
Mia and Me. Highland Life's on top, gone to the front. Boss Holiday second, one away, Jamista on the outside, and Amber Light the rail. They're coming forward after
Evan's gonna get
Boss
hung
Holiday
wide.
backs into fourth spot a little bit, and
Which
coming
will
around
be
them is
interesting
Midnight
if they
Ramblin', but
top
this leader
clear
a
the
length and a half
race.
clear Highland Life. On the inside, Amber Light, Jamista
got to
going
a
around
pretty
the
easy
outside of
lead,
Boss
though.
Holiday, 2.5 to
Three might
Midnight
be
Ramblin',
gone.
Mia and Me and Candy Street is last. Down to the final quarter, and Highland Life 2.5. Jamista is
We just
coming.
need to
Midnight
beat
Rambling's
7.
winding up for the back. Boss Holiday battling.
Come on,
Also
dude.
too is
7
Amber
for
Light
sure.
in the lead.
Yes.
Highland Life 3.5
Somebody-
clear.
oh, 7
Midnight
down.
Rambling getting to
Midnight
work
Rambling.
down the set of the track. Highland Life out in front. Setting sail is Midnight Rambling, the only danger. Highland Life well out in front
one
for
on
Sky
top.
Shanetz, and is just blazing a trail.
Got an easy lead when the two
And a
didn't
very
break.
winning handy trail. Great run.
Six,
Highland Life
and it
at
might
Limbach
get there.
Farms, a length and 3/4. Midnight Rambling, 8 lengths away.
Nope.
Bob.
Well, they are loading at Gulfstream, as y'all can see. We get the 3 home there in the pick 3. Oldy, you didn't have the 3, did you?
I did not in the pick 3 or pick 5, but I did have that cover pick 3 I played that was all 3.
Yeah, I wish I talked about the 3 and 5 there, beating the 7. The EquinEdge had that down perfect. But we are over to Gulfstream. Oldy, you are 2-4-5-7. I am 2-4-5-6, no 7. We will see what happens with the pace here. I'm going to remove this. Last time we didn't have sound, so we will try.
Into the gate they go for race number 6,
have
where
sound.
Drillmatic takes his spot at 8-1. Here's one of the favorites, Ready, Seat, Go. Here's the other favorite, Gooch Go Bra, both of which holding at their morning line
You can
quotes.
see they
2-1,
tore
Ready,
up
Seat,
the
Go. 5-2
discourse,
on Gooch
everybody
Go
over
Bra.
there. It looks like they're going to try to redo the grass.
Money for Silent Chaos, he's down to
Yeah.
5-1, and money for 7, Super Curioso, a lot of money for him. He's 9-2 here.
People betting the 7 here on the
Super
Tacoma course
Curioso.
on the lead. There's the
And
turf,
the late
which
pick
is
4.
officially a dirt.
There,
Love it.
Renegade.
Something happened to the 4. You can see the assistant starter in there with the 4 horse.
And they're off. From the center, Ready, Seat, Go begins quickly, not as quickly as Super Curioso, who's marching around inside traffic to clear the field. Super
As I said, it's
Curioso
gonna
to
go
the
way
top.
too fast
Ready,
early.
Seat, Go is now second from Gooch Go Braun third. Magical Adventure comes away in fourth ahead of DeSilo. Out a bit deep on the course is Silent Chaos, the early trailer. Drillmatic.
Got to go close
Run
to
around the first
25
turn.
usually,
Super
Oldy. Let's
Curioso
see.
tugging on the lead. He's backing it down with 1.5 to spare. Ready, Seat, Go is second. Gooch Go Bra on the outside
24.
third.
It's right
Rail
there.
Magical Adventure. He's on holding fourth, about 3 lengths off the pace setter. Then it's Silent Chaos.
Let's see what the
Drillmatic
second,
improves the spot. Now the trailer is DeSilo. 6 lengths from first to last with less than 5 furlongs to run. The leader, Super Curioso, 1.5. Second is Ready, Seat, Go, and Gooch Go Bra's up on the outside. White
Let's see what the
blinkers in
second
third.
and a half is.
Slipper on the outside, and Silent Chaos follows along with Magical Adventure at his
Oh, that
inside.
quicker.
Then Drillmatic and DeSilo.
Not much. but
49-2
we'll
for
see
the
if this
opening
horse
half mile. They
flops.
leave the backstretch and move on to the far turn. Still Super Curioso, the target. Ready, Seat, Go, getting closer. Second, Gooch Go Bra, 3 wide third. 2 back to Silent Chaos. He's moved into fourth around Magical Adventure. DeSilo and Drillmatic out the back as Ready, Seat, Go is powered forward. Ready, Seat, Go to the top of the stretch. Now leads 3 parts of length. On the outside in Gooch Go Bra, grinding home. Super Curioso, the early pace setter, is backpedaling. Silent Chaos in the pink and Magical Adventure with 1/8 of a mile to go. Gooch Go Bra, a
throw
very
the
pesky
reins
presence
over
for Ready,
the,
Seat, Go. Tries to turn him away.
Come on,
Ready,
5,
Seat,
get
Go
up.
digging in. On the outside, Gooch Go Bra, not by
Get
yet.
up.
Ready, Seat, Go still in front. Gooch Go
Yeah.
Bra, one final try. Gooch Go Bra. Gooch Go Bra needed
I'll take
every
it.
inch of the stretch to get up.
Yeah, I
Need
got a
another
great
favorite.
pace set up. Rain's going to stop soon, Scott. That's good to know. Well, Oldy gets through. That was perfect. We beat the 4, which was a good thing. The 7 did not win, which was a
made
good
the-
thing for me.
Made the
6
right
did not
choice
win.
not to single there as well for me.
No, I thought you didn't like the 5.
No, I said the 4 was my original single. I
Oh,
moved off of it.
well, that's a good thing, right? Because the 5 ends up getting up over the top there. And you didn't want to add the 5 at first, but second instinct caused that to happen, which is a good thing sometimes. So, all right, we're moving on. My single is up next. Lots of action in play. It's going to be an interesting race in this next race at Gulfstream, but I always like when I have a price, Oldy. Let's see here. We back to Laurel? We are. Laurel in 6 minutes. Oldy, you are still alive in your pick 5. we are on the turf in race number 7, an allowance race. Filly and mares, 3 and up. The 2 and 9 here were interesting to me as top GSRs. Also were the top 2 win percents. The horse, Oldy, that I thought was very, very interesting was the 6 horse. And this horse is Italian Dressing. You used the 129, though. I didn't know if the 1 could get up with the rail, Oldy. With that many horses, going to be tough on the rail with 0 speed. Well, has a pace of 1.
Well, I don't think it's possible to have a 0. So
yeah,
I have not seen that. I think 1's the lowest it goes. With that being said, the 1 has beaten 56s in the past, going 8.5. GSR stays the same, gets the top jockey in Rodriguez, or one of the top jockeys in Rodriguez. So hard to leave off there if you're going to use multiple horses. Was also the second choice. The 9's a motion horse, and the 2 who you mentioned you liked for Matt's. Won it first out at Colonial, nearly beat 66s at Aqueduct, and then came back on good turf and didn't run at all at Laurel, and then went to the bench. So, but the horse seems to be working like a monster, like it's ready to go here.
This was the 9 or the 1?
The 2.
Oh, yeah, Chorus Girl. You're right. I mean, it comes off that layoff for Matt's, right? But win percent's up there. I mean, I don't necessarily, this doesn't concern me when it's a lightly raced horse. Something for sure happened though, right, Oldy? I mean, ran great in a 66 allowance. And at Aqueduct,
9 furlongs, the extra furlong may have just been too much. The horse might be a miler.
Yeah, I mean, but it does go off a big layoff. So you got to imagine it took a while for it to get to the track as a 3-year-old. Now shows up here as a 4. So, but gets much easier. I mean, this horse obviously had some good talent there, and Barbosa rides. So system sees it at 23%, and the horse is taking money. Oldy, to your point, is working really, really well, right? You can look at the works down here. Tons of bullet works, not in large fields, but that's okay. And Oldy, I always like to see, I think I always talk about this, it works on a very consistent basis. And you see that here with Chorus Girl, every 7 days she is working. So to me, whatever issues they may have had, this horse should be back. And who knows what types of works, at the farm or anything that happened before this. Right. So this horse is probably fit and going to be ready to go.
Yeah, that was my thought as well. I do see what you're saying on the 6 as well, where the GSR goes up 1 point, moving to the turf, and is beaten better than this. But it's only 4%, so I'm guessing, without pulling up PPs, that possibly that Smith's numbers on that move are poor. First time Hamilton Smith, first time turf.
Oh, interesting. And Coach, thanks for the comments. We appreciate it. Yeah, I mean, this horse is taking money now. Look at this, down to 6-1, Oldy, 7-1. My comments here was, it won sprinting on dirt back here in a 58 and then a 62 going 2 turns. It gets over to turf and the GSR doesn't change. So great algorithm there. If you look at GSR plus, this horse can probably, race on turf, but it's going to be interesting. I mean, the horse has been racing versus tougher and now drops her on the turf for whatever reason. So I think it's interesting. It's not, I mean, I was hoping we'd get a much better price than 6-1, but it's taking a lot of late money.
Dirt to turf is 12%. But the only thing that I could see is why this horse is such a low percentage would be that the first time turf numbers on both the sire and the dam here. Oh, and actually this is second time turf. This horse did run at 5.5 against good turf and did not run a lick.
Yeah, but if you look, right, I mean, my guess, it did, to your point, Ron, but if we go here, I mean, it definitely wants to go 2 turns on the turf, right? So I think from that perspective, I think this horse is sneaky. I mean, it's a bummer we're only getting 7-1, but I was on the 2 and 9, Oldy, with the 6 being a potential. I got off the 1. We will see what happens here. I hope your ticket gets through. Looks like they are nowhere near the turf course. So I don't know what they're doing. They're rounding behind the gate.
Well, and I don't know what they're waiting for, because it's not like there's, unless this is a super high 5 leg or something like that. I don't know what money they think they're waiting for here. Let's see what the pools say in terms of what is running here. No, there's no super high 5. It's just pick 3, double, super, try, exacta. So this would have been a good super high 5 leg with this many horses, though.
Yeah, for sure. And Colin, I appreciate you coming by, brother. It's good to hear from you and see you. I ended up joining Colin on his podcast a while ago. Yep. I don't think I don't even, it might have been Derby. I don't remember, Colin, but that was a lot of fun. I'm glad you stopped by. And Scott, so Equibase has a short paragraph on Scotty's new 2-year-old. Interesting. He's very excited. I need to call him this weekend. I've been so busy, and I'm glad that, you know, he's spending a lot of time, I know, on the breeding side of the software, Oldy, and he's testing it out. Colin, time does fly.
I would say when he's going through those sales books like he was on Derby Day, he was giddy as a schoolboy.
For sure, man. Oh, it was Oaks Derby, Colin. I think you're right. That was awesome. Yeah, the midshipman equine breeders. Yeah.
Yep.
There, Colin. What's up, boys and girls? That's very
nice. And we're
nice.
loading in the gate, and can we switch the screens?
We will. Over to race number 7 at Laurel Park. The rail is out. The 2 at 9-2. A good price. 6 was floating up at 9-1. The 9 going to probably go off as the favorite, Oldie. Although the 1 is going to take some money. No speed with that rail out. Going to have to navigate a very tough trip on this turf course, but we will see if it's possible. I'm on the 2 over the 9 and 6. That's my pick. 2 over the 9-6.
Do we know if Scotty, who Scotty has picked as his trainer for these horses?
He has, I think, and I don't remember.
I know he used to be with Doug O'Neill when he was in California and owned some horses. He mentioned.
No, he'll have to. He did share with me, Rexner reminded me. I'll let him share though, or when we have him on. I don't want to, give that. He did share though. It's not a West Coast trainer though.
So we're not going to have the Scotty Baffert combo.
Nope, not happening. Man, that would be wild. I don't know what I would do.
What will we name it? We'll name it Matt. Is that what we're naming it, Scott?
Matt. Yeah, I wonder if he has a name yet. I asked him and he didn't. I gave him some options. We have no sound. Hold on. Sorry, everybody.
I think something like Look at the GSR should be the name of the horse.
It's not bad.
What? All one word.
On the Kelso course rail, 35 feet.
All right, here we go.
Turf good.
Rails out. We'll see what happens with the 1, Oldie. I'm on the 2.
An error off. Murph Murph firing out for the early lead. Chorus Girl up on the inside. Freccia D'Argento is right there with early foot 2. The girl from Ireland is next, followed by Cupid's Dream, who's saving ground into the first turn run. In between horses, Determined Stars, about a half dozen lengths off the early pace. Italian Dressing is followed by Downtown Katie, back to Ewan's back of the pack. And Isabella's Glory trailing the field. They're strung out by some 25 lengths from first to last. Brisk pace going, and it's Murph out there. Murph with a 3-length advantage. From Freccia D'Argento, another 2 lengths back. Chorus Girl third. The girl from Ireland fourth. Cupid's Dream is down to the inside.
Well,
Just
if Murph wins at this pace, the horse deserves to win at this pace.
Then a gap of 2 more lengths back, and it's Downtown Katie who's out of the clear about the 3 path heading into the turn. Italian Dressing the gray inside of that runner. Back to Ewan, second to last position. Isabella's Glory still trails the field into the far turn, and it's Murph. Murph on the turf leads it by 2.5 lengths. Murph, but here comes Chorus Girl with a solid bit into second. The same down for the girl from Ireland is firing along, and here comes Downtown Katie with her run too.
Jockey
They
on
reach
the
the top of the stretch. They turn for home, and it's Murph leading the way. But
I
just
know,
narrowly,
that
leads
drives
about
me
a length
nuts.
and a half. Chorus Girl there on the outside. The girl from Ireland. Downtown Katie down to the inside, and Freccia D'Argento. They've got a furlong left to go. The girl from Ireland surging to the front. The girl from Ireland with Chorus Girl. Late run Downtown Katie continues to gain the far outside there. Ewan's coming late on the outside, but it's the girl from Ireland. The girl from Ireland to take it about
Good
a
enough.
length from Ewan's, who closed fast.
Yeah,
And Downtown.
That'll work, Oldy. Nicely done. Was able to get up. That was great, man.
I just want to clarify, Buffalo Mike. You're suggesting that the horse be named Linda Rice, or that the trainer is Linda Rice? Because either one would be funny.
That's a good write-up, Scott. I appreciate you sharing. If anybody wants to see there, I'm glad it's gonna be fun to watch. I can't wait to see that horse get to the track. I think it's probably gonna be a few months. I would guess, late summer, early fall, or something. But will be nice to see. But Oldy, nicely done. Gets your 9 home. 1, 2, 9, the 10, the EquinEdge long shot ended up running really well there to get up for second place. But we didn't even talk about that horse, but ends up running a great race.
Well, and that's another case. The long shot does tend to finish in the money. So it's another case where if you would have used that horse, you could have got a nice payout with the favorite to the long shot.
Woodbine race number 6 is in 13 minutes. Gulfstream race 7 in 11 minutes. So we can jump over to Woodbine in a minute. But Oldy, nicely on our first leg there, get the $24 winner up.
Yeah.
In Highland Life, which is the second EquinEdge pick. Came 3-6-5. Should have played the try there, but oh well. So we will move on, and we get a good price to start. So.
Yeah, no.
All right. Go ahead.
No worries. I was just going to say, killed my multis, but was well covered there. So as long as the 3 wins in race 7, I'm feeling pretty decent.
I like it. All right, let's jump to Gulfstream race 5, unless or not race 5. Sorry, race number 7, right? Yes. 7. Race number 7. This is my single, as always. Well, not always, but traditionally I like to single a price. We do it here in an 18% win horse that is not in the EquinEdge picks. But, Oldy, this is it's a bit of a tough starter optional claim on the Tapeta. We just saw what happened with the 7 horse there a moment ago, completely kind of stopping to the speed. The horses came off the speed. This horse is going to be coming from far back. I think there's a lot of pace here. I think they're going to inject some pace. As you know, I don't traditionally like that on the Tapeta course at Gulfstream. Horses on the front end. So I landed on the 1 here, predominantly, to come off the speed, right? And, it's 18% to win. I love that it won last out. It is jumping up in class, obviously. It was first off the claim. had been over on the turf course and sticks on the Tapeta here, was a big favorite and gets up to win, which is probably one of the concerns. But I do think there's some pace here. I don't know what the pace was like in that race, but Edwin Gonzalez hops off and Morelos rides for Jose Pinchin. I'm going to try to get this horse home at a big, big price, currently 14-1.
Yeah. No, I hear you. I do, I use that horse. I was 2-1 for 6 here. I did not use the 7. The 7 just seems to find a way to not win. And, maybe Reyes gets the horse there this time, but, just I think that this is probably a pretty tough group. The 4 is a little interesting. The long shot.
For sure.
Getting bet too. And then if the 6 takes to the synthetic, the 6 wins this race. Would be the way I would put this. The 6, the GSR goes down. This horse has multiple times beaten horses better than this group. And is beating 62s and 60s by open lengths. This horse may have been a single.
Yeah, and Catherine, welcome. Ardash, welcome. You got a good crew coming in here. We're glad you guys are here. And guys and girls, sorry, not just guys, but we're glad everybody's here. Oldy, so Daniel said, what do you think of my single? Well, Daniel, he's using the horse, so he must think of the horse to some extent. It is a tough race though, and Oldy, I thought about singling against your 5 in race 8.
Always fun for the show.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. But, and I like that, that Morelos rides here. I mean, he rides occasionally for Jose Pinchin. Yeah. This horse, I love that it won last out, and it won back here in a 54, which is impressive, a little bit closer to the lead. It wasn't running here, but Pinchin reclaimed this horse, which I always like to see, right? Yes. I mean, he claimed and he claims, right? He immediately, then gets reclaimed, and then it gets claimed again. And then he drops back in here in an optional claim. This horse is not up for a tag, Oldy, which is one of the things that I thought was very interesting.
Yeah, I mean, that is a little interesting. I'm just not sure whether this horse is classy enough to beat this group. I think that's more my issue. Is 3-wide duel prevailed, just beat at this distance 50. So it's going to have to move forward. And it's the same thing, an if question. Can this horse move forward and beat a better group? The same question I have on the 6, whether it's going to like the synthetic. It does look like it may have one run on the synthetic, so I'm going to look that up real fast. But it may be that the more I look at this, the more I want to single that 6 there.
I mean, this horse has been racing a bunch. I mean, drops their 10 points. I mean, all these wins on the dirt, Oldy, and then this is only its second time on the Tapeta. So who bet all the money on the 1? The 1 is 9-2. What just happened, Oldy?
It's somebody who is listening to the show, maybe.
I have no idea, but I like it. I mean, it was not me. I can't say that was myself that just dropped the horse from 13-1 to 9-2.
So the 6 is 1 for 1 on the synthetic as well.
Yeah, what happened last out? I mean, this horse is going to 2 turns though, and it has 1-2 turns on the dirt, sitting off. My concern though here again, but this is me, I just don't want anything to do with anything up front here on this race.
That's a 42 and you look at this horse, that this horse is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 races pressing. When it was further back in a shorter sprint, that's when it had a problem. And I can't see the weight, but it could have been the weight it was carrying there too. Could have,
Mhm.
but that was against 70 SOR last time out.
Yeah. Much.
And
I mean, that's a tough race. So,
yeah,
they're getting to a better spot here. It is the second EquinEdge pick, which I think is promising. It's only 7% to win, but I think the algorithms in this race just show how difficult it is.
yes. Yeah, no, this is definitely a race where the algorithms were all over the place, which, is a good place to spread then, usually for me, or you single and you take a chance. But I usually look for the algorithms being all over the place when I'm looking for opportunities to spread. And I
Yeah.
am gonna play a win bet on the 6 as well. Um,
We haven't talked about the 8, Oldy. I mean, this horse, you talked about the 4, and I actually, in a way, I almost kind of singled the 4 horse. Krieger Rise, this horse has won 2 in a row. It's been on the Tapeta here at Gulfstream. Those were at 52 and a 54. It's going to have to improve. It's a little bit similar to the play on the 1, but I ended up landing on the 1 over the 4, but I think the 4 can run a really good race too. What about the 8 though, Oldie? Because we have not talked at all about Boston Princess. And this horse is coming off the turf on the Tapeta course here, but gets Zayas to ride, has been racing in 52s, looks to be in great form. I think this horse is dangerous. I know you didn't use it. I would have, if I was going to spread in this race, I would have had to use a bunch, and I for sure would have used the 8.
yeah, no, so I'm shaking my head. I didn't like the 8 at all. Um, if I had to add a horse here, it would have been the 7.
Yeah, Flying Black. This horse has struggled to win. I didn't really know what to do with this horse. It's run well, but it hasn't been winning at this, conditions was my concern. It did win 3 back there, but second off a big layoff, probably needed that race. I don't love that the win percent is much less was my concern.
Well, the 6 just took a bunch of money, so the 1 has gone back up to 6 to 1.
that horse was like 13 to 1, and all of a sudden was 9 to 2. That was crazy. The Apprentice is riding the 2 Pacific Princess.
Yeah.
So you have Pacific Princess is facing Boston Princess in this race. So I just think the 2 are going to get caught up in the speed. I think the horse is going to send. I think the 5 is sending. Luca and Morales here, I think, are going to be winging it on the front end. I don't think they're going to go 25. I think they're going to go like 23-3, 23-4, maybe 24. But I think they're going to go a little bit quicker here, but we'll see.
Yeah, I think the 5 stops for sure. And then I do, the 2 can rate, so you have to keep that in mind. The 2 does not, I don't think, wants the lead either. I think the 2 just wants to sit right off the 5 there.
Yeah, I mean, it's second off the layoff. I just think, they put the Apprentice on there. It can. I don't disagree with you. You can see that back here. And, that was a 46, though, and it romps, which makes sense that it can then come back and win in a 54. It runs really well here in a 54, right? And Apprentice rode last out, so obviously sticks with the amount. Doesn't quite have the same weight break, but nearly identical at 115. So, going to be a good race, though. Good optional claim race. Is not the feature that's in the next. We have 0 minutes to post. Woodbine, 2 minutes. Over at Woodbine, pick 3 alive. I think it was 2, 3, 6, 7. We probably are going to end up missing that race because we'll stick here on Gulfstream, and I have a feeling they're going to end up going over the top of each other. On Woodbine, though, I did think that, maybe an exacta with the 2 and 3, to be honest, you're not getting much of a price, but put the 6 and 7 maybe underneath in a trifecta. I think that I think there's a lot of speed here. I think these horses are going to come off the pace. I know Oldy, you spread a little bit more here, but I'm expecting to come off the pace,
Yeah.
With somebody here at Woodbine.
Well, you could have another situation like in the last race where the speed broke slowly and, somebody could get away too.
Bill, are you talking about at Gulfstream?
Here's what we're talking about, Bill. You have a different top GSR, you have a different top pace, you have a different top SOR. They're all different horses.
All right, I think they're cutting over from the dirt over to the Tapeta. We will jump over to announcer Pete. I'm gonna fix the stream just to make sure that we have sound. Anybody's riding on the one, we're getting 9-1. Let's see if this horse can get it home. I do think the 8's a little bit interesting, y'all. I'm going to play the 1 on top, and I'm going to play the 1 over the 4 and 8 in an exact.
The horses are at the gate. It's
6 is now favorite.
Lining up, moving in. Race number 7, 2-1 co-favorites are 2. Pacific Princess.
2 is actually the favorite by the money that's been. Nope, just went the other way.
5-1 for both 4 Co-C and 7 Flying Black.
10-1 on our 1 horse. That's what we like to see.
And the line goes Battle Cry and the colors.
For the purposes of my pick,
now,
pick 5, I would prefer you to be right as well, because that's the best price in here. But
Co-C and Boston Princess. Boston Princess. And the late pick 3. They're in the gate. And they're off. In the center, Golden Voice gets the first call, taken on by Battle Cry from between horses Co-C, and down along the inside, Pacific Princess. So 4 almost in line in the charge to the first turn. Saving ground is Tis Impressive as Presley's Hope floats a bit deep on the course. Flying Black is outside her. The early trailer is Boston Princess as Golden Voice is in front. Golden Voice leads by half a length. Pacific Princess is second. Co-C is third. Battle Cry is an on-hold fourth. Out the rail, Tis Impressive now fifth. Flying Black is sixth, ahead of Presley's Hope seventh, and Boston Princess is eighth and last. The quarter time, 24 seconds flat, less than 6 furlongs to race. Golden Voice by a length and a half. Pacific Princess second. Morales looks like he wants to angle off the inside, but Co-C will not allow him to do so. He's racing on the inside.
Oh, he's going to anyway.
On the outside of the horse looking for room, Pacific Princess. Meanwhile, it's a loose rein trip for Battle Cry in fourth, and Tis Impressive is at the rail fifth. Flying Black remains toward the back of the group ahead of Presley's Hope. Nothing yet from Boston Princess. 48-2 for the opening half mile. Despite Kevin Krieger's efforts, Morales did work to the outside on Pacific Princess, who's in the clear, but Battle Cry is on the go, and these two sprint to try to get Golden Voice from last. Boston Princess sent to light by Zayas. Inside her, Flying Black. At the rail, Tis Impressive through 3/4 and 13-1. Off the turn and the stretch drive, it's Battle Cry and Pacific Princess. They turn first, almost together. Down the center, Boston Princess working into the clear is Flying Black. 1/8 of a mile to go. With the advantage, it's still now on the outside. Flying Black coming alive to try to get Battle Cry. Battle Cry has the lead. Up into second is Flying Black, but Battle Cry proves best. Battle Cry a length and a half.
Yeah, it's always
the second Flying Black. Third.
One, I will tell you, Oldy, that I don't like how close the 1 was to the pace, but you can't control that. So that would be my my only comment.
It's just a really nice horse.
Yeah,
doesn't seem to care about what surface it's on or anything like that.
Mm-hmm. Ends up going off as the favorite. Tis Impressive. My single didn't run well. But like I said, I don't know why that horse was that close to the pace. I would have liked to see it coming off, but that's okay. We will move on. Oldy, you are singled in the next. Woodbine, they went off. The 1 wins the race, which I should have spread, like you said, Oldy. The 6 was running a great race. The 7 was running a great race. The 1 gets up over the top, though, Oldy, at 14-1. So back-to-back prices, nicely done.
Well, now we just got to be right on the single here, and
what was your ticket? 12 something, 11.
1140, I think it was. Hold on, let me. So it was all three, which for $11.20,
Yep, there we go.
and we've
Yeah.
gotten 14 to 1 over 10 to 1.
Nicely done. Tony, no one. The one wasn't gonna run there that close to that speed. All right, we got Laurel. Oldy, your pick 5 is still alive. You have 1, 3, and 4 here. I thought the 1 might be a single, to be honest. So I'm all on the 1 here. That was when I looked at this race. I did not play a ticket, but you also had the 3 and 4, Oldy.
Yeah, so I would be very happy if the 1 wins this race. That's terrific. I was close to that as well, but since I decided not to single here, I was 1 and 3 on my original ticket. I was only 2 deep, and I added the 4 here. But the 1's sitting at 4 to 1 right now, and is marginally the second choice in the doubles, but in the pick 3s is there's a significant difference. And if we get the 4, we might end up with a decent payout going into the pay leg if we were to get the 4 here. We did not use the 6, the 7, who's the third choice.
Yeah, I thought the 1 here was going to be tough. I mean, top win percent, top EquinEdge pick, morning line, like, GSR to 63 was great. You look here, this horse ran in, much, much tougher allowance race last out in a 64 and is dropping out of 70s, so broke its maiden, ran really well. This horse has been facing much, much tougher here. So comes over here from New York for Rudy Rodriguez, and the other Rodriguez rides. So this would have been my single if I would have played a sequence, but I'm going to win bet here on the 1, La Vida Sofia.
And you're getting a nice price of 4 to 1 there.
Yeah, hopefully, might as well jump 1 to 1. Maybe Rodriguez will do a better job of giving the horse a good ride.
But I hope so. And it just dropped to 2 to 1. But as we're talking here, and the 3 went to second choice, so spoke a little too soon there. But I just, and that's weird because the odds are showing the 1's the favorite, but the win pool actually has more money on the 3.
Maybe it hasn't caught up. But Oldy, good news at Woodbine. You just got a $32 winner home in the pick 3. Now you're alive to the 3 for 20 cents to $51. So not bad for a $11 ticket. So we will get over to Woodbine in a little bit. But
and not bad when it's a 3 to 5 favorite that you're getting $50 on a 20-cent bet.
I like it. Yeah, that's good. So I don't have much else here. Who can come in second? I think the 1, to your point, Oldy, just took a bunch of money, but I don't know who's gonna run second.
And I also covered myself at Gulfstream by singling the 6 in a pick 3 and playing 1, 4, 5, 6 and 2 through 6 in the last 2 legs.
Nice. I like it. All right. What else we got? We got anything else? No. We got Laurel. Belterra
Laurel. Well, let's see what's coming up here and see if we're waiting for Laurel here. Is there anything coming up that, and of course, Laurel's the next one to go off, it looks like. But we could look at Belterra. That's 1 minute away.
On the turf, yeah, we can speed handicap. Let me see. Let me pull it up, y'all. Only a 7-horse race. Looks like they're on the turf. I always like to sort by the pace, see what's going to happen here. I'm going to check if the rail is out, but it's at 14 feet. So nothing crazy. Tells us that over there as well. There looks to be some speed here. The 2 probably going to show speed. I immediately always look at the GSR. Yeah. I see that the 1 I like to see is anybody changing surface, which the 1 is back on the turf. It's been on the Tapeta. It's second time on the turf. It raced well last out, Oldy, getting back to the turf. This Prince Simba, 3-year-old colt, looks a little interesting here, to be honest. I don't know this jockey, but 20%, that's gonna play nice. But it doesn't have a ton of speed, but there's a lot of pace here. So the one's a little bit interesting to me, just getting and sticking on the turf. What do you think about the 3, Oldy?
I think so. I think there's a lot of pace here, and I think the 3 has rated back against 44s, is dropping and getting easier. I feel like the 3 should be the favorite here, not the 2.
I'm just betting the 1 again because of the GSR, but also it seems like ones might be wild here.
Well, and I think 1-3 might be a good exacta bet that should pay pretty well. Second choice to 7-1 there. And it looks to me like the 4 needs the lead, the 5 needs the lead, the 7 needs the lead, and the 2 might need the lead too. The 2 can rate, but against better, I'm not sure that I love the 2. I probably am going to play as the 3 keeps getting bet down. I'll probably play a 3-1 exacta here.
Prince Simba, the 1, getting 8-1. I like it. 6 horse taking some money. I don't know if that horse can win though, but is the EquinEdge long shot. But I'm on the 1 at 8-1. I love the price. Ardash, we might get to Belmont race 7 for you. Hold on, we got to watch this. I guess we're listening to the Belterra Park race because we can't watch, but I got it on the other screen. The 1 is approaching the gate. River Downs, Scott. Is that what Belterra was before? It was called River Downs. I've never been there. It doesn't look like a bad track. I mean, looks all right.
No. All right, so
Cincinnati. Anybody watch the NBA draft last night?
Anyway, I did watch a little bit of it.
Well, it's gonna be an interesting draft, I think.
I don't know that I like the comparison of the 7'5" French kid to LeBron.
Well, I
think maybe more to Kevin Garnett in terms of size and play style, but might play down to like Brad Sellers or something like that too, as a floor.
Yeah, I mean, he's gonna have to stay healthy and put on some muscle and do all types of things, but I don't know why the sound's not working. Hold on.
The Spurs are a good organization too, so he's going to get excellent coaching too.
On the far outside, Killer B, even farther out, Kick Rocks.
Lots of speed here at Belterra as we wait for Laurel Park. We'll jump over here.
As they run into the first
the 1 is the favorite at Laurel.
That's PK Wood along the inside. Shadowed by Weapon on the
everybody trying to race close to the front here at Belterra. The 1's just kind of letting everybody mess around. We'll see what happens.
Kid is showing great interest. Down along the inside, Eden Paradise rounds out the top 4.
The 4 doing a lot of good work for us on the 2.
Yep.
Round the field is Phaeton, opening quarter of 24-1, a half on the board of 49-1.
1 looks like he's got a horse. It's just going to be a matter of whether the 1 can get out.
Down against the rail. Eden Paradise looks for a way to go. Kick Rocks Kid is now on hold. Kick Rocks Kid just waiting to push the button from the back of the pack. Killer B starting to heat up. Phaeton, and on the outside is starting to pick it up. That is Prince Simba as they round the far turn and come spinning for home. It's PK Wood and Alex Achart leads by a half a length. Now kicking out for clear sailing is Eden
Come
Paradise.
on, Prince.
Draws a bead on
Come on, 1, get up. Get up.
Wood and Eden Paradise. Working off the rail is Prince Simba. It's Eden Paradise on the outside. Now grabs over the lead. And
3 going to win. I don't think 1 going to get up, Oldy.
Center track, Prince Simba coming
Yeah,
on.
I played this as a straight exacta too, and I just missed.
That was close, man. But I think you're right. The 2 ended up winning. Back over to Laurel. Oldy, I'm on the 1. What do you
Little
have here in your
spinner.
pick 5?
I have, hold on, I am 1, 3, 4.
Well, that's why it was called
Solving
River Down,
progress.
Scott. That makes sense.
Just north.
Well,
Three
good
over
call on the
Stady.
3 there, Oldie, to win, but the 1 ends up just missing second place. Tough
Yeah.
trip. Didn't finally got out, but
And they're off.
7 is
Little spinner asks for some
running
early
wild.
speed. Ruth Ann Major Houlihan La Vita Sofia will settle from the inside draw into the turn run. Solving progress out wide. 6 the hard ways in between horses. Only 3 off the lead, improving a spot or 2. And just north is trailing the field as whip around that first turn run. Around that turn they roll. The inside is Major Houlihan. The outside there's Ruth Ann. Right there, Little Spinner's on third position. And Solving Progress to the far outside is up close. Solving Progress third out wide of the track. And FLI 6 the hard way in just north, and La Vita Sofia trailing the field, only 5 lengths from front to back with 5 1/2 furlongs left to run. It's Major Houlihan getting pressure from Ruth Ann there on the outside, Solving Progress. Little Spinner in between horses right there in that mix 2. 6 the hard way, saving ground into the far turn run, and just north, still only 4 from the lead, and La Vita Sofia trying to move up in between horses as well. Wide open affair. Ruth Ann punching a narrow lead now from Major Houlihan, battling back on the inside. Major Houlihan's come back for more on Ruth Ann. Now between horses, La
Very
Vita
game
Sofia is
in
moving
this
along to
race,
third.
but
6 the hard way down inside, and 4
I think
Solving
it's gonna.
Progress.
They
Little
took
Spinner
so
drops
much
back,
pressure.
and just north trailing the field at the top of the stretch now. Just north tries to get going from the back of the pack, has moved fourth and up the 3 path. They turn for home, and it is Ruth Ann.
3 looks
Ruth Ann
gone.
kicks away. Ruth Ann trying to
Yeah,
stay
there's
on now.
nobody
Furlong
gonna
and a
catch
half
the
left to go, and she
3.
looks
Either the
strong.
1 or
She
7
suddenly
gonna
pops
get
away by
second.
6, Ruth Ann. As La Vita Sofia is second on the outside is just north. Here is Ruth Ann and Jorge Ruiz with a double. Ruth Ann solid in victory in the slop. Ruth Ann does it. Ruth Ann by
Strangely,
6 at the line.
the 2 went off as the
From La Vita Sofia,
co-favorite
just
there.
north third. Solving Progress fourth.
Yeah,
And the 2 was the favorite in the doubles and the pick 3.
well, the system had the 1 and 3 there. The 2 was 8-1 on the EquinEdge morning line, Oldie, which was a telling story. So you get through though, man. You get to the last leg.
Yeah, I mean, pretty chalky, but pay lag time, and you can't do better than that, I guess, than being knocked out. But it is a small pool, so we'll see where those will pays are and how many tickets are alive.
All right, we got time, so we're gonna talk Belmont because somebody asked, Oldie. So Belmont race 7. I have not looked at this, but I'm all
Either.
for it. It looks like there's a little bit of rain or mist on the turf course. It's a claiming race, 30,000, race number 7. Foliage is the current favorite. I like Hatch just because it's EquinEdge long shot, but this horse is first time maybe on the turf going 6, so it has been on the turf before. So GSR drops might be a little bit concerning. So I don't know about that horse, but it's interesting as the EquinEdge long shot there. The 6 can be on the lead, Oldie, and there looks to be some cheap speed up here in the 6 and the 1. Run White Rabbit and Dad's Good Run, who is a price play. But this horse has predominantly been on the dirt. The 5 horse is a 3rd-time starter for was Linda Rice. Now Michelle Nevin takes over. She claimed this horse from Linda Rice sprinting last year at Saratoga in a maiden claim, and shows back up here, Oldie, at 23% on the 5, Majestic Johnson.
Yep. And one of the horses that I think is really interesting here is the 9, the second choice, who also is the top SOR. Dropping in against 50s, should be sitting a decent trip and have the potential to close past these horses.
Yeah, War Terminator the 9, Volkert the 3 is the current favorite. I don't
Top
know.
win percentage, not in the top picks, but also top
Hmm.
GSR on Volkert.
Has Dylan Davis riding. Obviously Castellano likes to ride for Joe Sharp. He hits at a whopping 71%. Six
Well,
of
it's
7. 6, that must be 6 of 7, doing like quick math in my head. But that's pretty wild. I mean, you can't really discount that.
yeah. I wonder though if he's flown in a bunch of times to fairgrounds
Could
to
have.
ride particular horses for Joe Sharp. 'Cause Sharp's not usually usually not a New York trainer.
Yeah, they're loading though. I don't have a big opinion here because I didn't have enough time to handicap it. I would say the 2 is probably interesting. I would, somebody like Hatch, the 4 is the long shot. I don't love the GSR. I'd probably get rid of the speed. I want somebody coming off. I do think the 7 might run okay, to be honest with you, but is not going to win. This horse 2%. This not,
Yeah.
I think you're narrowing down to Oldy like we talked about. I think I'd land on the 2. It's top EquinEdge pick. If I was gonna bet a horse here. I'll put a couple bucks on it. That'd be my pick.
Yeah, I'm gonna say the 9, but I'd say 9-2-3. But one of the cheap speeds could stay up and get a piece too if you're looking at a try. Will pays pretty decent at Laurel.
Nice.
Much better than you would expect with that small pool.
Run White Rabbit. Hatch, along with Majestic Johnson and Dad's Good Runner. 3 of them across the track for the early lead.
Wow, there's the speed.
Volkert, who's down on the inside in 4th. Basis Risk is now moving up in between horses from 5th. War Terminator is on the outside. Then a break of 2.5 lengths back to Foliage, followed next by Run Smitty Run, and the trailer is Run White Rabbit in 9th. The quarter, 21 and 4/5.
Pretty quick. Gonna set it up. 9's running really good, Oldy.
Yeah. Runner on the outside.
2 has speed to chase and run into.
On Volkert, who's down at the rail and in 3rd. War Terminator gains on the outside. Majestic Johnson's in between horses.
It looks like it's going to be the 2 or 9.
The half and 44 and 4. It is Hatch who has the lead. Hatch in front by a length.
Come on, 2, get up. Beat all these 9.
Foliage is gaining.
Beat up all these 9. Get up.
9 hanging.
Get up.
Here is Foliage now to take over the lead. It is Foliage in front from off the pace to win it.
We should just combine our horses, Oldy.
Yes.
Scott, he's fighting. Rush, you asked me who we liked, not the 3, brother. Buffalo Mike. That's classic, brother. That's good, man. Scott, the 2 is just he's had a perfect trip, Oldy.
Blinkers. Yeah, no, got the cheap speed we were expecting. The 4 did hang on for a piece, just like I said. The speed, one of the speeds might hang on for a piece, and we had the 9 and the 2, and would have been a nice exacta there.
And trifecta, man, beat the 3. Yeah. It was the fave. Like we just didn't have enough time. We were there, but it's good to pick winners. It's good to pick exactas. The exacta probably going to pay well.
So 6, 7, 9, 11 at Laurel in the last. So here's the Will pays. And excuse my math here. So the 2's a carryover. The 6 is about 7, right around 790. The 7 is about 550. The 9 is also 7, right around 790, And then did I say the 11 or 12? What was the last one I had added there? It
11.
was
No 12. You added the
okay.
11.
Let's go 11 because that is 2750. A little better than 2750.
Well,
And
I
keep in
know
mind,
you
well,
gotta
look at
like
the
when your bombers getting bet to 5-1.
yes, and top GSR on the turf there,
Mm-hmm.
which was
Nice.
the whole reason for adding the 11.
Well,
And
and the good thing there, I mean, this horse has only raced 9 times and first time turf. So,
yep,
I would assume outside post is going to do fine here on this turf course like this. A horse also, has some amount of speed. It's not like it's sitting down here in the teens or something. So, I mean, this horse could really improve, Oldie. And, the trainer jockey it at 39%.
yeah, I mean it ticks some boxes. Let's say that. But the thing here is, and maybe this doesn't come to fruition, but um, it was a good opportunity, and this shows, because look at the prices of the horses that won in this sequence. We were talking about how small this pool was.
So you had a $9+ winner in the first in Lily Simone, a 460 winner, which we talked a lot about respectively in that race, was much the best, and the 8 got second. The girl from Ireland looked much the best as a $6 winner. So yeah, I mean, you were able to slim down, and you got a couple. You beat some. Well, the 9 was the favorite, and I guess the 12. So you got a couple
And
favorites at post time, but they were not necessarily morning line favorites, if I remember correct.
right, and then a $6 winner in the. I'm sorry,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and is that a $9 winner? I can't.
Yeah, 940, but you beat a really
Yeah,
bad chalk in Major Houlihan, which you were smart in. I talked about using the 1 as just a win bet, but you didn't even
yeah,
use the 2, which was a great play because this. I mean, 20% to win. I'm sure there's some other bad factors. The morning line at 8-1 on EquinEdge says, be very cautious here. Anytime too, if you're only getting 2-1, if we pause here only for a second, just because then this is the last leg. I talk about this in the coaching class. Like, if you're only getting 2-1 here on this horse, be very cautious because you should be getting much better value,
yeah.
right? Like, this horse should be 8-1, and the public has no idea unless you have a tool like EquinEdge. But that's a very, very much a vulnerable favorite, and you obviously just tossed it, which was very smart.
Yeah, and it looks like the 12 is the current favorite at right now at Laurel. I mean, it's early. We're still 18 minutes away.
Well, I mean, it's EquinEdge long shot and at a morning line of 7-2. So that doesn't surprise me, in Princess Palmer is only 1 for 19, which you never love to see. But I mean, it's not surprising being the long shot. Toledo rides. I don't know that trainer, but this horse has won on the turf versus easier and run okay in the last couple races, but also has a couple of duds. But yeah, I mean, I'm open for your 11, man.
Well, let's get it done. I'm happy with any of those, but it would be nice to have a big boom for the show as well,
Yeah,
and
we
for the
could.
people who support my tickets. So
Well, it's been a good one today, Oldy. We definitely
yeah,
get back on the winning train. We've had a few handfuls of winners, some great exactas. You're live in your pick 5. You have your other one still going to a single. I only played 1 today and
yeah,
didn't get the long shot single home, but it's been a good day. It really has.
yeah. And unfortunately, unless that 6 wins in the last at Gulfstream, I don't know that the Gulfstream pick 5 is going to pay much, which has been the case for several shows. I feel like when we've hit it there, it just hasn't paid the way you
Yeah.
would expect a Gulfstream, pick 5 there. Maybe the difference here is that the computers aren't pouring a ton of money into Laurel,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
because I can't imagine they would have left the 2 in this last race uncovered if they were pouring money in there.
All right. Before we get back to Woodbine and Laurel, let's talk Gulfstream. Oldie, your single is coming up in a couple of minutes. You have the single in the 5. My Avant Glory, 41% to win, going to be the pace of the race. Former Safi horse. Safi has the 1. My most interesting horse was Desert Ruler, the EquinEdge long shot, the 6. It's probably where I will land, but tell me about your single here, the 5.
Yeah, and I mentioned this earlier that I've been charting races, and everything we're doing today will go in here as well. But this is only the 4th time in 400 and something races that there's been a horse that's top pick, top pace, top SOR, top GSR. And that's a pretty, the sample size is too small to quote a percentage, again, because it's only 4 times. So, but I expect that those algorithms are going to play out pretty well. And then I covered myself on the pick with that pick 3 I mentioned, where I went 1, 4 through 6 in this leg. So if the 5 misses, and I already hit the single in the previous leg.
Well, I hope you get it home, brother. I'm on the 6 here, Desert Ruler. I thought that Desert Ruler had a big shot. This horse stumbled. I went and watched the race at Tampa. It was not a terrible stumble, but it was not good and stumbled out the gate, Oldie, last out.
Yeah, and I will say if the 6 wins here, the pick 3 could pay more than the pick 5 with the 5 winning, depending on what happens in the next leg. So, that's it. It happens. Even the best horse loses. Sometimes even Zenyatta and Secretariat and all those horses found a way to lose a race. Cigar, all the big winning streak horses. So, I'm not comparing Avant Glory to any of those. That they're not in that range at all. But I think that with all the metrics pointing there and the fact that it's getting that, there's a lot pointing to that horse here.
Tony, Ice Cold is going to be either 5-6 or 6-5 because Oldie loves the 5. I looked at singling the 6 and ended up spreading a little bit more. I can't remember what I used. I think I used 3 or 4 horses. I think I used 3. I think I used 1, 4, 6 if I remember right. But I would say 5 over the 6, 6 over the 5. Wiz, I love you, brother. Hit the like button, y'all. Thanks for joining. We'll be around for a bit still. Happy Friday. I hope everybody has a great weekend. I don't know, Oldie, is there any good racing on this weekend?
There's the Ohio Derby where you have 2 fills running. I heard somebody say that I saw something on Twitter that it's a deep field. I do not feel that way. I thought it was a very weak field. But that's the biggest race this weekend. And with Santa Anita closed and Del Mar not there, there's nothing really going on the West Coast in terms of big races.
The horses are at the gate. It's now post time. Lotting up, moving in. Race number 8, starting leg of Elite Daily Double. The race favorite is number 5, Avant Glory. Roderick Rodriguez has Edwin Gonzalez riding for Gelfenstein Farm.
Good luck, Goldie.
I don't like what I'm seeing from the 5 there.
Last 2 to move up, Desert Ruler, and from the outside,
they were having
Cloud.
trouble loading it, and it was rearing up a little bit, wasting a lot of energy.
Smoke and Cloud.
And they got it in pretty quickly.
Complete the line. 6 furlongs of the trip, first half of the late double. They're at the post. And they're off. The favorite Avant Glory got away very nicely and reaches out for the early lead. From the far outside, it's Smoke and Cloud, splitting horses Desert Ruler. Positive Review away 4th. Followed 5th by Smoke and Bow, and the trailer is Sensei Lawrence as the favorite is in front. Avant Glory and Edwin Gonzalez, they have the
All
lead. Up
over
on the
the place,
outside,
Bob.
Smoking Cloud is a closer second. Desert Ruler between them. From fourth, it's Positive Review. He's getting a good trip well down toward the rail. He's racing ahead of Sensei Lawrence, and they kick away from Smokin' Bow. 22-2 for the opening quarter as they round the fore turn. 3 furlongs from home, and Avant Glory Gonzalez keeps him to the task, and he leads by a length. Desert Ruler is second, looking for room. Positive Review. He's got Run for Zayas. No place to go yet. Sensei Lawrence splits horses, floating wide as Smoking Cloud with a quarter of a mile left to go. Avant Glory has the lead. Positive Review going to try to thread the needle here. They've straightened for the drive. The leader is Avant Glory by a length and a quarter. Positive Review has to angle to his heels to race on from second. Desert Ruler is now third. There's an eighth of a mile to go. Avant Glory, he's getting more as Gonzalez on the favorite. He's a 16th from home, and he's 2 on top. Nobody can get to him. It's Avant Glory close to home. Avant Glory wins. Positive Review second, third Desert Ruler, fourth Sensei Lawrence.
All right. So note when you see even if you can't see it, when you see all the metrics line up on the very few times that happens, that's pretty much an automatic single.
I mean, nicely done. Gets home. Tony, your Ice Cold Exacta just came up short. That's my fault because the 6 got third. Positive Review came 5-1-6. Just picked EquinEdge picks, and you would have had the trifecta there. But Zayas ended up going off at 9-5. The one took a
We're
lot
off
of
at
money.
Woodbine too with the single to the 3, and I can't tell whether the 2 or the 3 won by the camera right now because they're showing both of them. I guess we're going to find out right here, and it was the 2, so we go down there, unfortunately.
Can't win them all. Was a good start to that sequence.
Why can't I win them all? I should be able to, right?
I mean, maybe. I mean, it could happen.
There have been days, but today is not one of those days. It's fine. 3 broke out, it looks like, and got bumped a couple times.
Catherine's into golf betting.
So I just can't figure out how I mean, you should be in the golf betting after last week.
Catherine, I picked Wyndham Clark to win the U.S. Open. It was pretty impressive. I was highly impressed with myself. It was pretty amazing. I was very happy. It was really cool. I was really happy for him too. I think that's where, I don't know, golf is different. I've played a little bit of golf. I don't play a ton, but it was really cool to see him win. He played amazing golf.
And it was 35-1, is that right?
Yeah, I had him. I bet him at Oldy, he was 85-1. You had him at 500, at 5-1 or 500. I don't know what that means, but Oldy, I bet him, he was 85-1 to start, and I bet him on hole 4 of the first day. So he had dropped already from 85 to 35-1. But good for you, Catherine. Nice. Golf betting's fun. I don't disagree. It's a lot of fun. It really is.
Yeah, no, I just the effort to put into sports betting or something like that, the same level of effort I put into this, to put into that there aren't that kind of hours in the day, especially once fantasy football starts too. That's going to take up a lot of my time. And then my daughter has 1 year left before she goes to college. So we have 1 more year of traveling around the country for cheer.
Nice.
We
have Oldy, your pick 5, 6, 7, 9, and 11. We might get a little bit more coverage after this, but nearing the end here, 6, 7, 9, and 11. We are rooting for the 11. Oldy gets over to the turf. Currently 7-1, so taking a lot of money. So for sure live, but you definitely, the 12 would be my only concern for you, and maybe the 8. But I hope you get one of these home.
Yeah, the 8's being bet to win, but wasn't really bet from a pick 5 or pick 4 standpoint. The 12 was, bet a little more than that. The 12 actually, the 9's now the favorite.
The 8 doesn't want turf, so that would be the one benefit. Not that it can't win, but it has not been on turf yet, and 8 tries, and GSR says no. So, those horses do win, but it is the second EquinEdge pick, but I would hope maybe that horse doesn't end up winning. The 12, the other danger, has run some okay races at similar SORs, but also hasn't won versus much easier. So, did win its maiden and then still trying to figure it out, it looks like, at 1 for 19. So I think you got one of the winners. We'll see here, though.
Yeah. So, I just put this up on the screen, but Catherine was out at Saratoga this morning watching workouts, which is pretty cool.
It looks like a beautiful spot. I've never been. I've been to Del Mar a handful of times and love it there on the ocean. But I've heard that Saratoga is a fun spot. Hope to make it someday. Colin, you're going to go this summer? I don't think I'll make it. I'm supposed to go to Del Mar for opening day, an opening weekend, to be honest. But Oldy, as you know, I'm starting a new day job, and that is potentially going to disrupt my summer plans in general. So we'll see. I may try to still make it down there. But I've heard Saratoga is an amazing place.
Well, my summer's mostly going to be, the summer travel portion will mostly be taking my daughter to visit schools as she's getting close to having a, like maybe somewhere between November and May, she's got to make a college decision. So we need to see some campuses. She'd prefer to go warm weather. And so we're going to take some trips out to like South Carolina and Arizona and a few other places. And, possibly California as well. There's some schools she's interested in, all those places. And, my son already being in Florida, he's back here right now, but I'll be taking him back to college in mid-August as well.
Nice. Colin, that'd be a lot of time off. I don't know if that would work, but I thought about it. Trust me, I was all for thinking about it. Catherine, what do you like? So I've never been to Saratoga, so I can just imagine by seeing it what I've heard though. But you're saying there's a lot of people panhandling there. I mean, to be honest, I think about this, like living, and I've traveled a lot across the country. Sometimes I go to a place and I'm like, why would somebody want to be homeless and panhandle in this city? I'm like, why would you want to do that when you could be somewhere else? So I think about that and I'm like, well, maybe they make lots of money in Saratoga in the summer panhandling. So I don't know. I always wonder why people are homeless or panhandle though in just a very cold kind of dreary area or something when you could be in a different spot. But hey.
Well, if you're panhandling, you probably don't have the money to get from point A to point B, though.
That is true. You may not have a choice, right?
Yeah.
All right. 2 minutes, Oldy. You are alive to the 6, 7, 9, and 11. Pleasanton is racing. If anybody likes to play the fair circuit in California, I have played there occasionally. You actually can find. I will tell you guys, you can find some interesting prices on the tool occasionally on the fair circuit. So, but then, and we have Los Al starting up, but it's going to be an interesting few weeks, Oldy, till Saratoga and Del Mar start up.
Yeah. And remember at Los Al, not only do you have the daytime or the nighttime $2 pick six, you now will have the daytime $2 pick six, which tends to carry a lot of times. So keep an eye on that. Real carryovers, not jackpots.
Yeah, I like the $2. It's a fun play, Oldy, but it's good that you mentioned that. They always end up having a good thoroughbred card, I feel like. So All right. Well, we're waiting on Laurel, and then we'll probably close out the show, Oldie, right around your end of your Gulfstream pick.
And they
5.
appear to be having toe difficulties at Gulfstream because the race has gone official, but there are no prices coming up, so we do not know what our will pays will be yet.
Yeah, there I switched it to the video, Oldie. They're there in Laurel. I'm in the restroom 1 minute, but then you are right.
Yeah.
For whatever reason, they're just showing the beautiful background of Hallandale Beach there.
Yes. Yeah, and when I was in Hallandale Beach, I've spent in my life a lot of time in the Fort Lauderdale area because I had great aunts and uncles there when I was a kid, and my father lives out in the Boca area, so I Gulfstream's probably the track I've been to second most in the world, but it was interesting to see, where Scotty and I left pretty late after the Derby, and they had converted the outside in Gulfstream into a dance club, which was pretty interesting to see. And one of the things, when you think about it, a lot of these tracks could be eh, pulling in supplemental revenue from things like that, especially the ones with casinos where you want to keep as many people there as you can, because the more people you keep there, the more likely they are to spend money there. So that was interesting to see, as well as I've seen them use as concert venues as well. All right, Tony's playing a 6, 7, 9, 11, 12 super. 50-cent super for $90.
I think the 8 might run, Tony. I don't think it can win, but I would not be surprised to see that horse run. I'm getting 12-1. Oldy, let's get it home, brother.
Yeah, I mean the 7's the lowest
The
will pay.
horses reach the starting gate.
So if we get the 9 at 7-5, I would take that and be very happy.
Bolly Holly. It looks like a yucky day in Maryland.
Who knows what damage? They many times said that the rain causes a lot of the damage on the surface, on the dirt surface there.
5,2.
Catherine, that I'm guessing. I mean, the prices in Del Mar are outrageous on the ocean, so I'm not surprised to hear that about Saratoga.
Watch me disappear.
But, I've been in the San Diego area when Del Mar's been closed, and I've looked, and they're just as outrageous during the non-horse season.
Yeah, I mean,
Go
I
Chanel
don't disagree.
and Ardina. Princess Palmer. They'll be last up. 5.5 furlongs on the Fort Marcy turf rail, 87 feet. Going to the second finish line.
Yeah, they just put tote delay up at Gulfstream.
And they're off. 5,2 off to a very sharp beginning. 5,2. Sweet Shugs right there. And Watch Me Disappear flashing up with early speed too. So Watch Me Disappear. Now got to the front from 5,2. Leads at about a half length. In third is Sweet Shugs. On the far outside there, Princess Palmer gets position, moves up alongside there, the second flight. And then followed by Go Chanel racing along in the 5th position into the far turn.
Well, just the 8 getting pulled
next,
up.
Bally Hooley is dropped to the back of the pack. Actually now to second last position. And passed by Irish Lace.
9 is not going to run.
America's Woman. They're midway on the turn. Watch Me Disappear leads Princess Palmer by a half length and 2 more lengths back.
6 in hand, Oldy.
Racing third.
12
Go
probably
Chanel
the
trying to get
danger.
underway from fourth on the far outside. Irish
Nobody,
Lace down inside
6
there. In
just
fifth.
after.
The outside is Sweet Shugs right to the stretch. About a furlong and a half left
here
to
come
go.
the 2, brother.
And Watch Me Disappear.
Come on,
2.5 lengths in front.
Get up.
Go Chanel's on the go. And here she comes on the outside. Go Chanel on the outside. Go Chanel running with 5,2 now. These two to the final 16. Go Chanel 5,2. Watch Me Disappear.
Worst will pay,
Irish
but
Lace is going to be Go.
Hey, still a winner, brother. That's all that matters.
Chicken dinner.
Nicely done. That 2 was absolutely dangerous.
Yep.
At 30
And
to
that
1.
was the carryover for the pick
Oh,
5.
was
It was
it?
the uncovered horse. Yes. I was
Wow.
talking about the computer's not spending any money in here because there's no way that horse would be, they'd leave an uncovered section like that.
Mm-hmm.
Especially with
Well,
all the chalk, that the fact that there was an uncovered section was shocking.
mm-hmm. Well, you can get the 7 home. Would it pay 700 something?
No, 5, hold on. It was 5 something.
Hey, man.
550,
Pick 5's never easy to hit.
556-ish.
Nice. Well,
But it's still, it was a $108 ticket, so it was profitable. Could have
yeah,
been more profitable, obviously, if the 11 would have won there, but the 11 ended up finishing last, I believe.
581. Thank you, Mr. Walsh. Chris, are you still on tour? You are still on tour because I heard you were. Though. You said you're in Beantown. Well, I hope it's been a good one, man.
Chris has led the life. I mean, I'm sure he has some stories.
I'm sure he does too. I did not know Nicoletti had pancreatic cancer, Catherine. That is a bummer. I'm sorry to hear that. Is it bad? Yeah, I mean, it's Boston today. Day off. I love it. Well, the 2 gets up there and makes a price of the Super Tony. Belmont, sure, let's go. Yeah. We're waiting on Gulfstream Park. We can talk Belmont. Last time we did this, we hit the winner, Oldy. So let's do it again.
Yeah. And we have some time here too. We have a couple minutes.
1 horse is the morning line favorite. Actually, second pick. The 6 is the favorite. So Cupid's Heart Top GSR has never been 6.5, but has won at 6, has won at 7, has won 3 out of 5 times, has been the chalky favorite. All of those did not run last out in the 66, Oldie, but shows up here off the layoff.
Yeah, and the other thing I see here is this horse can rate.
Yeah, it's sat off the speed, right? So if we start with the pace, although it is the pace of the race, so is it going to just let, I don't know where the 1A is positioned, but just going to let the 1A just kind of go to the lead? Or, I mean, the 4 horse is interesting to me, Oldie, just because it's 2 for 5 at the distance and it's 2 to 1 on the EquinEdge morning line, and it's the EquinEdge long shot.
Yeah, I just think from a pace standpoint, though, the 6 is a better horse. It's just, will the 4 get brave on the lead? I mean, it doesn't quit. You see it almost won coming from slightly off the pace. The 4 did. So the 4 is interesting too. I don't really like the 1A. I would toss the 1A for sure. If just looking at the 1 who's the second pick doesn't look like he ever gets there. If this horse was a favorite, the 1A, I'm sorry, the 1, not the 1A, you'd be talking about that horse being a money burner.
They just went.
Did they? Okay.
The 4 are going to go to the lead. Yep.
See, my mouth ran too long there.
It's okay. I bet $10 on the 4.
And trailing the field.
Yeah, I think the 6 is just from what I'm looking at, the 6 is loaded.
The 6 is gonna roll up on the side of the 4. 5 is done.
After a quarter in 22-2. So it's Khalid.
Or might have it.
Cupid's Heart.
See when they come out of the turn here.
Adelisa Smile runs in 3rd, 2.5 lengths. The Royal Poppy in 4th. Cupid's Girl moves up a spot. 2-T is the
Don't jump off, Manny.
And Cupid's Heart are heads apart now as they come for the top of the stretch. The half in 45 and 2/5 seconds. Kali Magic on the inside.
I mean, he's asking that 6.
No, Manny! Is Kali Magic who has the lead.
Go, baby!
Cupid's Heart being asked for more, but is now 3.5 lengths away.
Keep going.
Kali Magic in front. Cupid's Heart runs in 2nd. Then Adelisa's Smile, followed by
that 5 is coming though.
5 gonna get
Still, Scotty Magic trying to
second.
take them wide away.
Well, the
I
5
don't know
might
if 5's going
win.
to win. It's 28-1. Come on.
Get up for
Get up. Get up.
Kali Magic.
Good call. You're 2-0 at Belmont. You should have played Belmont today.
it. We don't have the video. I know, man. Like, oh, that Manny holds on. That 5 was friggin' rolling and coming, man. That was close.
I was looking at that, though, as double pick 6 carryover, right? Sitting right there on that 5 if we could have gotten there.
4 horse wins at 5-1, man. I love it.
Yeah.
Bill, that's good. I'll make sure to mute next time. Luckily, it's long. You could probably hear my flip flops on the floor.
All right. So at Gulfstream, the will pays are not great. But as long as it comes one of those horses, we still make at least a little bit of money. So the 2's our best case scenario, at a little over $1,000, about 1,050, 850. The 3 is 485. No, about 470, 450. The worst one being the 4 at 170, and you have a little over 200 to the 5, and then my 6 that I mentioned that I just thought there was something up with, that one's a little over 850. So with the chalk, the level of chalk we've had, not as bad as I thought it was going to be.
I mean, the 4 horse is all the pace here, but I didn't trust this horse to single. My second choice, though, Oldy, I thought that the 2 horse was really interesting as the second time starter getting over to the Tapeta Baltic Mule. So I'm glad that Marco Meneses rides. I'm glad you used this horse. But
I mean, I would love that that's $1,000 plus winner.
Yeah.
So
we should have just played Belmont, Oldy. It would have been I should have played the double. That's kind of just didn't. We don't ever look much just because we don't cover. But maybe next. Well, you hit Laurel, so I was gonna say maybe we won't cover Laurel next time. But
no, I'm liking Laurel right now.
Yeah, yeah.
But if timing wise it works out, though, we could easily fit in another track, and there's some interesting products there, like the Grand Slam or the $1 pick 6. So there's some options where we could do some things a little different there.
Catherine, the 4-1, Kali Magic paid us $12.60 for $2. 5-1. Manny Franco holds on over a 28-1 long shot that almost got there, but Woodbine, we've been covering Woodbine. Race number 8, Stylish Gent, I thought was really interesting. Oldy in race number 8. I also thought the 7 Big Warden was interesting. I actually like this race as a betting race now that I remember this. Oldy, this is the last race at Woodbine. Any thoughts here?
I mean, I thought this race was all over the place. But I like the 7 Big Warden, the long shot there.
I thought, I'm remembering this now. These are the 2 pace horses. One of these horses is winning, in my opinion. I would not be surprised to see them both run well, to be honest. But I ended up liking both of these. The speeds are both of them here, to be honest. Oldie, I was on the 1 and 7, so I might play something like. Well, you can play a 20 cent too, so I'd probably play.
Well, the 2's coming off a big layoff, but if you get a healthy version of the 2 here, and he's ready to roll, the 2 is going to be really tough because he's beaten 66s. sprinting and almost beat 64s the second to last time it ran. And I'm trying to understand why this, and you're welcome to try to explain it to me. It won't make sense. Why the 3 is the current favorite. That seems like bad betting and bad chalk to me. And
This horse has got to be on or near the lead, the 3, and I don't think it has any chance with the speed of the 1 and 7, in my opinion.
I mean, I
Yeah.
see the same thing you do there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. The 2 is currently 7-1, which is pretty wild. 4 going to be coming late. The 8's going to be coming late. Trying to figure out how. I don't even want to use the 3 horse, Oldy.
Yeah, no, I agree. I would not use the 3 horse.
That's what I'd play, $8. I wouldn't even use the favorite. I'm putting the 1 and 7 on top, and then everybody but the 3 for $8.
Well, if the 2 stays at this price, the 2 might be worth a win bet too.
You're going to get a good trip, right? I mean, to your point, it's with 16% to win. It was only 4% last out. So, coming off these 64s, it's got this big drop in SOR. So definitely dropping into claiming ranks, and something's up as a 5-year-old. It only has 6 tries. So they're giving up in a way, but it definitely, they're at least I just said it's not the same horse, but they're at least putting the horse in a spot that it can try to win.
Yeah, and the other thing it's pretty obvious though that Campos didn't jump off the 7 and jump off and jump on the 2. I would bet that he was replaced because they got Kamara, who I believe is the leading jockey at Woodbine.
And good to see you, Razor. If anybody doesn't know, Razor is now full-time. He's Razor, I saw you've been on fire lately. I saw some of your picks. If anybody doesn't follow Razor, you should. He has amazing horse picks and sports picks all the time. Great dude. We've had him on the show before. I'm glad you stopped by, brother, and good luck this weekend.
Hey, Razor, any of your Gulfstream picks still alive, or how'd you guys do today? If you're still listening. He may not be listening anymore, but hopefully his show went well and he brought home some extra money. So for everybody.
Gulfstream, Oldy, they're still in the paddock. We got Woodbine in 4 minutes, and then we'll wrap it up at Gulfstream. But
Yep.
I don't know. I'm on the speed here. The 1 and 7, Stylish Gent, Big Warden. The 1's top GSR. It's raced 4 times here on the synthetic course up at Woodbine. It's the top EquinEdge pick, which I love. And then you have the trainer jockey also hit at 30%.
Yep.
I don't know this group, but out of 10 tries, 3 for 10. So, but I think Big Warden, to your point, Ollie, I think this horse has got a big shot. I just like the speed and the pace in this race. I think one of these horses is holding on.
Yeah, and I think you have to note the fact that Kamara is jumping on this horse too.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Kamara. So the 4, their picks so they like the 4, who's 23%.
Who's they? Woodbine.
Woodbine, yeah, I just saw that on their feed, so I'm just taking a quick look. It is 23%, but I don't see much here. Beat 54s in July of 22.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And, I guess was close against 48s, but other than that, this horse is pretty much wet the bed every time.
Yeah. You're alive to the 4 and 5 at Gulfstream, Oldy. Or Razor, as he said.
Go get it, Razor. We're alive to the 2 through 6.
Heading out to the track at Gulfstream Park. Woodbine, a couple minutes away. We will close the day good. Nicely done on your Laurel pick 5, Oldy.
And we got a shot to make some money at what's it called, at Gulfstream. So we'll see what happens.
So Downs.
Who's asking about Ruidoso Downs? Can we get a feed at Ruidoso Downs?
No, hey man, I love playing here.
Quarters have been very good to us. You know, I talk quarter horse because I do the night classes. I talk quarter horse racing every week, talking about the pace number and, you know, looking at whether horses break well and things like that through the system and how to see those things.
I mean, here's race 6. They're running 550, which is a long race, but this horse is bred for it, man. I mean, GSR is the best out of all of them. It's 26% in the 7 horse. Not the top pace figure, but it's a little ways down there. It looks like the 2 and 8 are the top 2, and both taking money, so not surprising. But the 7 definitely a must use. This Candyman can. I don't rarely play here, but you know, for sure, potentially live. Somebody like the 3 horse, it would be definitely a must use, probably in your vertical bets at 7% and currently 31-1. All the money, it looks like, Oldy's going on the 2 and the 8 and the 9. The neck one is long shot 2-1. Wow.
So at Woodbine, I ended up going 247 over 247. Overall. I'm sorry, not overall. 247 over 247 overall.
Oh, for your
or a try. Yeah.
trifecta. All right. I didn't use these 1%ers down here, so
we're loading though into the gate there.
Oh, good.
Being for Super River to settle. Gate 3, Call My Banker now called into the line as Supreme Action is the longest shot on the board. Hasn't stopped that horse from winning before at those odds. As Kirk Johnson takes position, Highland Society. Gate 6. Gate 7 is Big Warden. Kazushi Kimura. For a barn that's been running hot lately, John Martini. Boxer Brief behind the gate with Commander Tom. Big Warden. Brought forward. Just about ready for a start. Boxer Brief. Looking to
That guy got
repeat
some long
here. And the last
dreadlocks.
is Commander Tom.
I don't know who that was. Riding the 8?
And goes up, and this field is now...
You would think that would
all
slow
in
the
and
horse
locked
down,
up.
cause some drag.
Yeah, Juan Crawford.
Off their race, a great start. Back to last soon after is Super River. Shooting for the lead is Big Warden. Away nicely in the center is also Highland Society. And going up on the inside, it's Game Night. And right behind them is Stylish Gent. A length away came Call My Banker. Super River's made ground. Boxer Brief around the extreme outside with Supreme Action back second last. And last early is Commander Tom. On the inside, it's Game Night being pressed. Right there up in the center, pushing the pace is Highland Society, and over on the outside is Big Warden, a length behind them, Stylish Gent with the run of the race. Over on the outside, Boxer Brief from Call My Banker, and 2 lengths away, coming on is Super River.
Now, is this just a case where
and still in
the
front,
two
it's
might have
Game Night.
decided
Here
they
goes
think that
Boxer
they're
Brief,
better
looping
than the
around the
rest of
extreme
these
outside,
horses?
4 wide, Stylish Gent up the rail, and trying to come through is Call My Banker
Eight's
behind a
gonna
wall of
win,
horses.
man.
Down the outside,
8 is
Boxer Brief
rolling.
after the leader, it's Game Night. It's Game Night in front.
The
A length
2
to
may
Boxer
hold
Brief,
on,
battling
actually.
away is Stylish Gent in the center. It's Game Night holding at the moment. Call My Bank is running on late. It's
a
Game
4.
Night in front. And down to the wire will go gate to wire. It's Game Night by a length.
Boom.
Yeah,
I don't
nicely
know
done.
who got third, but that definitely hit the try.
Yeah, well done. The 2 the pace there looked to be the best of the race, and the 2, to your point, just said, "Hey, I'm the best, and I'm gone."
Yeah, no, that was the old only these other speed horses could beat me, and I'm just gonna, you know, I don't think they can rate, and I'm just gonna take care of them. Good
The one
strategy, good jockeying.
Yeah, the one ended up getting third, so it came 2-4-1.
Okay. I mean, gonna make a little money, nothing crazy there, but I'll take it.
All right, we'll close it out here at Gulfstream. Oldy, I wish you the best of luck. You are live to the 2 through 6. Razor, good luck on the 4 or the 5. Anybody else, if you're alive, good luck. It looks like they're approaching the gate with announcer Pete. I hope you get, that Catherine the 8 was flying, but, ended up, I think it was the big dreadlock in the back, like Oldie said, just too much drag to get home for Juan Crawford. I'm like, I've never seen that guy before. But,
they obviously opted for downforce over aerodynamics there.
I hope you get the 2 here. I think that this horse has a shot as a big price, only at 19-1. I think it's going to run a good race, but good luck.
The horse is wrap the gate
to get one of these home.
It's now post time.
Well, first we got to get the one.
Up and moving in for race number 9, 7-5 on 8-9
really.
go.
We don't have that horse.
9-5 on Mr.
No, we got to
Rodeo.
get it in the gate
the
to get the race off, and we don't want it to scratch and be stuck with its money on the favorite or anything like that. So
the line Baltic Mule, Classic Bourbon, Mr. Rhodium. Nice card assembled here tomorrow in South Florida, 12:50 the first race start time. We hope you'll join us for Saturday racing.
It's interesting. So I thought something's up with the 6. The bettors disagreed with me.
Mr. American is now getting ready to take his spot in line. Next one up is Uncaptured Tiger.
Really
and does not want to go in the gate either.
Uncaptured Tiger in the colors of Maurice Miller LLC.
Mo Miller.
Well, Tony, we can cover the last. We'll look at the
Express
last.
Don't answer.
Hit 2 in a row.
Waiting their turn.
Go for 3.
Yeah.
Troy Lang colors have the favorite here. 8-9 go.
Big race too. A good betting race, like you said. I bet.
Just about ready. Don't answer. From the outside to complete the line. All set. And
all 6
runners away. Four start Uncaptured Tiger. Quick start, 8-9 go, who fires to the early lead from Mr. American away in second. Don't answers on the far outside with Mr. Rhodium and Catalina Express. Baltic Mule is ahead of Classic Bourbon and left behind early Uncaptured Tiger. To the far turn they go. 8-9 go has the lead. Mr. Rhodium trying to secure a racing lane. He's up between horses. Up on the outside, it's Don't Answer, and from between runners, Catalina Express. 2.5 to Mr. American, 3 better than Baltic Mule. Classic Bourbon is second last. The trailer Uncaptured Tiger. The favorite's still clear. 8-9 go, a quarter of a mile from home and a length and a half in front. Trying to move up out wide is Don't Answer. Mr. Rhodium, Mr. American, and Catalina Express with less than a quarter of a mile to come. Jockey Amisael Jaramillo shakes the reins at 8-9 go and has the lead by 2. Don't Answer down the center. Mr. Rhodium between Mr. American at the rail. They're doing everything they can, but what they cannot do is get to 8-9 go.
That could have been a single as well, obviously. That horse just made it look easy. Whoops. I didn't mean to kill that off there.
Still a moneymaker, but not what you'd want in terms of an ROI.
Yeah. Well, nicely done. You get it home, man. All right. Back to what do we say? Belmont race 9. Maiden special, state bred on the turf. These are the best. Great call, Tony. 6 horse has not been on the turf in 2 tries. I can see that here. The 5 has before, but a lot of lightly raced horses, to be honest, Oldie. So, 13 it ends up drawing in with a couple of, I guess, 1 scratch. So it draws in as the current favorite. Win percent though says this is pretty wide open. I always on the one percenters, Oldie. I just like to look at the GSR. 6 horse really interests me when I see an 81 and it has not been on the turf, but I would get rid of 1 percenters. Whoops.
And is Christophe Clement.
This horse is bred really well. I would have obviously liked to see that it was getting a higher increase coming off the dirt. But I mean, to be honest, this horse goes on the shelf as a 2-year-old, gets a couple races in, and then they bring it back here as a starter on the turf. To your point, Clement.
Yeah, you have the wrong screen up.
Oh,
as Tony
thanks.
points out.
Yeah, thanks. Sorry, thanks, Tony. But there's the 81 on the 6. I cut the 2, 8, and 11 with the 1%ers. Win percent makes it look wide open though. 13 draws in, top EquinEdge pick. I don't know how those outside posts play at Belmont, but they're going to come out of the chute there, right? But State Breds, Oldy, any thoughts here?
I don't like the 13 here at all. I'm going to put this horse. I'm naming this the Oldie crap horse of the day.
The 13.
Yes.
I like it. Captain Party for Castellano and George Weaver.
Don't think this horse wants a mile outside post. Does get Castellano, but didn't really run last time it went a mile. Has no speed from an outside post. That can be pretty dangerous, especially with the chute here. I like the 6 a lot here. The 1's a little interesting too. For Michelle Nevin, has been in against better. This is a more appropriate group. That horse could be dangerous. And if I'm looking for another horse here, maybe the 12, but I think there might be too much speed here. But at least the 12 is coming from an outside post. And if it can rate, it might be able to push off on the 1. But I think 12-1, 6 sounds pretty good to me here.
The 4 is the EquinEdge long shot. Has Katie Davis riding. She only hits at 9% for Romero. They're 0 for 7, but is the long shot. And Z Dancer doesn't show a lot on the turf going 2 churns. GSR says, might want to go longer, but that's a War Dancer and Starship Flare. But win percent 6%. This horse ran well last out in a 50 on the turf, I guess, is the one positive thing you have here. Had been in much, much tougher races on the dirt. And if you forgive or get rid of this race, right, and the horse didn't run, this horse has run respectable races, Oldie. So, interesting. I find this horse interesting. Going 1 churn, horse looks to want just 1 churn type sprints. And I know they're going 8 furlongs here, but the numbers point to this horse running an okay race as the long shot.
Let me give you another horse. The first time starter by Twirling Candy, the 3 Gossiping Pando. For Chris Walsh's favorite trainer, Linda Rice, noting the fact that she really only puts Jose Ortiz up on live horses. They're 31% in 75 attempts. I have to figure this horse is live.
So let's look at the pace here, because I always like to try to break down the race, Tony and others, and what's going to happen. So, and I was looking here quickly. The 4 does add blinkers. So, that horse is probably going to show some more speed, I would guess, for Katie. So, you got Irad, who's on the 12, Stowe on the Wold, so he's going to show speed, right, Oldie, from an outside post.
Yeah.
This horse has shown quite a bit of speed, right? We look to the 1, and this horse is probably going to break from the rail and show some speed. I would guess. It's been forwardly placed and for rather large fields, and the 4 is going to show some speed, I bet, with blinkers. This horse hasn't shown speed, but from a pace figure, it definitely probably has some, and they add blinkers today. So, I would expect you have some forwardly placed horses. that are going to inject some amount of pace in the race. The rail's at 18 feet, so good sized field, but I don't know how fast they're going to go, though, Oldy. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't necessarily see them flying. Irad's probably going to control the speed. He may even try to rate, right? I mean, I don't know. He might not even go to the lead.
Yeah, I mean, this is not a great group. The fact that you have a horse with that big of a GSR advantage, so I like the 6. I think the 7's a little interesting. I like that first time starter, the 3 as well. As I mentioned, the 7, should not be sitting at 21 to 1.
Yeah, Ferris Mueller, 7%. Sources raced 5 times. I mean, it could improve here. Going 1 churn, it went 9 last time.
Ran decently again, going 8 last time, the time before that.
I mean, the
That's
only
50th.
problem is you have a 0 and a 0%. You have a Gary Richards riding for I don't know who this is. Oliver Hosang. Both have not hit the winner's circle recently.
Also note that the 8 horse has the bug aboard.
Yeah, Torres rides, may end up showing some speed there as well. I would not be surprised to see that.
And that looking at the 1, Carmouche is 7% and 44 rides for Michelle Nevin.
Mm-hmm. Who are you guys talking about? This Weaver, Castellano, the 13. Yeah, I mean, I just don't. I mean, Oldie pointed out this horse may not want the distance. I mean, this horse doesn't look. I mean, when I look at a horse like this, and then I look at the 4. I mean, the 4's been in some insanely tough maiden special weight races.
Mm-hmm.
I don't love the GSR drop, Oldie, but I do. This horse did run last out. It's only 6%, but is the long shot. This is a tough race. It really is.
Yeah, I mean, definitely there's some different ways you could go here. The Nevin horse was close. I just don't like that you put Carmouche is riding there. Irad's might have a chance on the 12 to go gate to wire.
I think the 4 might get the lead. I think Katie's going to send.
I just don't think this horse wants turf.
But look, it ran in a 50 and nearly won. I mean, it actually probably not going to get the lead. I don't think she will send it to the lead, but I think this horse is going to be a lot closer than it has been. I mean, this horse has not shown speed. I mean, these are impressive runs, Oldie. It runs first out and runs second. I mean, it did lose by 16 lengths, but I don't know who this horse was that won by 16 lengths, but being a state bred, this horse is getting no love, to be honest. And then, runs a respectable 5th here in a 58. I mean, that's wild. And then didn't run here, but then it does come on the turf. And to your point, I mean, maybe doesn't. I think the horse might. I mean, look, it's just not bred super well. But I'm looking. The horse looks good now. But I mean, when I look here, I mean, I don't really worry about the 8 furlong. I mean, the highest number is 53, and these are tough 1 churn sprints at 6.5 and 7. So we talked a lot about the 6. That horse in the beginning only is taking a lot of money. That's a big GSR, but it didn't win in either one of these races as the chalk. So that's my concern. And the win percent dropped a lot. So.
But I would assume that Irad had several opportunities to ride for people here. And, Doc had multiple horses too here, or has multiple horses. And I know he rides for Michelle Nevin. He rides for a few of the other trainers that are in here, and he's on that 12. So you at least have to pay attention to that.
No, I like the 12. I don't like the one, like you said. I mean, they only hit at 7%, so they're loading. Oldy, I'm gonna just play at 412 for me.
I played a 3-6-12 try.
All right, I'm just gonna play an exactio, the 4 and the 12 together. I'm just gonna box them. Yeah, the 5 horse is a big price with Manny. GSR is low as well. It's the other Clement horse.
Hasn't run at all a lick on turf either. 2 turf races.
Yeah, which I like. I'm not a fan of the 1. I'm not a fan of the 5. The 8 horse. I mean, I don't know. I don't think these horses can win, but you know, I don't. Maybe one of these bombers can get up for 3rd or something. The 6 might run, but I don't necessarily trust that. I know you like the first time starter 3. You know, which I'll add a little 4-3-12 maybe for $1. I'll pay it for $6. All right, let me turn the sound on. Good luck, y'all, if you're live. Tony, good luck.
They're in the gate. And they're off. From the inside, it is a Border Dancer. And from the outside,
Katie did send on the 4. I'm not super surprised by that.
The dancers are right together.
Well, and Irad didn't go to the lead, and
join them.
That first-time starter either has no speed or...
Here down at the rail runs in 6th. Captain Party, the gray, is next in 7th.
I would assume it's going to make one run.
Unaffected in 8th position. Then comes Ferris Mueller. To his outside is Chulligan. And farther back in the field is Oyster and Gossiping Panda. The quarter went at 23 1/5 seconds. Born Dancer leads here by a half length. Z Dancer on the outside runs in 2nd. And just in behind, Tony O and Border Patrol. They're right together, 3rd and 4th. Stowe on the Wold is next in 5th. Captain Party now begins to move on the outside from 6th. And Chulligan is gaining ground from the back. As the field goes around the turn after a half and 47 1, Born Dancer, Z Dancer. And on the outside and gaining ground here is Ferris Mueller. And in between horses, it's Captain Party. Captain Party has taken the lead as Born Dancer continues to battle on down at the rail. Z Dancer is there. Tony O is at
Come
the
on,
fence.
4.
And then comes Stowe on the Wold.
12 is going to win, maybe.
Yeah.
Captain Party at the rail.
There's the
Tony O.
13.
On the outside is Stowe on the Wold. And a late run from All Good here. They come.
Oh, the 1 going to hold on.
And
Yeah,
it's
wow.
Born Dancer off the layoff to win the Friday nightcap.
Well, speed holds on, Oldy. I'm not too surprised by that, but Elliot, nicely done. Catherine, Irad sucks. Good luck, Charles. Oldy, well done today. That was nicely done. A couple pick 5s home, lots of winners. Didn't hit 3 in a row at Belmont, but that was a good closing to the show.
Lots of fun. I really enjoyed it. Thank you, everybody who stuck with us or who joined at any point. And please hit the like button on your way out, too.
All right, y'all. Good luck this weekend. Good luck at the horses, golf, baseball, whatever you play. We appreciate you all. Have a good weekend. Oldy, it was a pleasure. We will see you soon.
See you soon. Thank you.